Check, check. Can the online media hear us now? Hello, Brandon, you have the first question. We've just started. Brandon, we're not picking up a feed from you. We'll pause.
Oh, how about
Go
now?
ahead, Brandon.
Is that good?
Now we hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry about that. I will send this over to Giacomo. Since the last time you were in an international event, that was Champions. But that was kind of a while ago now, new team. You had that new team with Evil Geniuses the following year as well. I would just like to ask kind of how your approach has changed, if at all, when it comes to winning a championship from, winning last time to trying to now, hoist the trophy here in Bangkok.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely just taking the same instances that I had for 2023. Since I didn't play international in 2024, I still have the same mindset, same grind set on international stages. So that's kind of where I'm going with this team, and just trying to introduce all the ideas and the confidence that I brought back then as well. And I mean, I already seen the process of it after this kickoff tournament that we just won.
ค่ะก็เขาถามนะคะว่าการเตรียมตัวเป็นยังไงบ้างอะไรเงี้ยค่ะแล้วก็ก็เขารู้สึกตื่นเต้นกับการมาครั้งนี้นะคะ
Thank you. We'll take the next question from William Cho.
Thank you. This is Chobra. And I have a question for Trace first. Trace, you're going up against G2 in your first match, and a lot of people have been saying just from the beginning of kickoff that G2 looks like they are primed to win at Masters Bangkok. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that there are some differences in kind of the level of teams at Masters Bangkok, or do you think it's anybody's game?
这个问题想问到 Tracy Sports 的队员，因为第一场对战你们即将对战到 G2， 并且 G2 在整个起点赛的表现是非常优越的。然后你们第一场即将对阵到他们的话，有什么样的感想呢？你觉得这一次参加曼谷大师赛的队伍有什么样的？你对这些队伍有什么样的分级的认知？就是你觉得他们有哪些层级吗？以及你最想对战到哪支队伍？
第一场面临到 G2 吧，就是第一感觉就是他们的打法风格和我们比较像嘛，然后他们在某些细节上处理比我们更好，就是他们比较像是我们理想中的那样，然后也是很期待跟他们交手吧。有问题。
So for our first matchup, we're gonna face with G2. I think we share like something in common, like our play style, but I do think that they did better, like in some details, and they're kind of like the ideal like form of us. That's it.
ค่ะก็เขาก็รู้สึกว่าเขากำลังที่จะได้เจอกับ G2 นะคะในแมตช์ที่จะถึงนี้ก็วิธีการเล่นเนี่ยก็มีความคล้ายคลึงกันแต่ก็ยังมีสไตล์ในการเล่นของเขาที่ยังแตกต่างจาก G2 อยู่
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Rabia from Jinx TV. Rabia, if you can unmute your mic. Oh, go ahead.
Hey everyone. Yeah, sorry. Hey everyone, my question is to Giacomo. I want to talk to you about the multiple sudden, roster changes that are happening right now after kickoff. Most of the times, according to the teams, the issues are related to synergy or communication. Now, I saw one of your interviews with Arnab recently where you mentioned that one of the reasons why you joined G2, even though you had like multiple offers from partner teams as well, is you had better synergy with them. I want to ask you, what do you think is lacking in other teams, and like when it comes to making this decision, like figuring better synergy out, and what can be done better from a player's perspective and team's perspective as well?
I would say like building a lot of trust with your teammates coming into the team is like the main thing, because you need some confidence going into a team that you don't know. I joined this team especially because like there was a core around it, and then learning with them every day-to-day basis about like how they actually like produce the work and like show out per matches and stuff like that. That's kind of what I was looking for. But for other teams that are like looking to like rebuild and stuff like that, you have to actually trust the process that the coaches actually put in the work for and the staff, you know. I don't think a lot of people give credit to like the staff and the management that go behind everyday life stuff to actually support the actual stuff that's going on throughout the day. But for like the coaches and stuff, like if you don't trust the process of your coach, that's like the main thing, especially your IGL. If you don't trust your IGL, you're not going to work with them correctly. That's why you'll see a lot of teams like kind of like fall off, disband, or just die in the middle of the season like we're seeing right now. So I think that teams now just need to figure out why they're together, and they need to figure out how they can actually be together and be like the fullest potential that they need to be at.
Thank you so much, and good luck for the event.
ค่ะก็คำถามนะคะเขาถามว่าเอ่อจอร์เกโมเนี่ยหลังจากที่ได้มีการเปลี่ยนทีมไปอย่างเงี้ยค่ะมีเหตุผลอะไรที่ถึงมาเข้าร่วมกับ G2 นะคะว่ามีการเล่นที่เข้ามือกันกว่าหรือเปล่าหรือว่าจะให้คำแนะนำยังไงกับคนที่เพิ่งไปจอยทีมใหม่หรือกำลังหาทีมใหม่อะไรประมาณนี้นะคะแล้วก็คำตอบของเขาก็คือสิ่งที่สำคัญมากๆคือความเชื่อใจกันนะคะแล้วก็การซ้อมด้วยกันอย่างขยันขันแข็งนะคะนี่คือสิ่งที่เขามองหาในทีมใหม่ที่เขามาจอยนะคะสิ่งที่สำคัญมากๆก็คือต้องเชื่อในเรื่องกระบวนการการพัฒนานะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นทางฝั่งสตาฟเองหรือว่าทางฝั่งผู้จัดการทีมและที่สำคัญคือโค้ชแล้วก็ IGL นะคะที่จะต้องเชื่อฟังแล้วก็ให้ความเชื่อใจค่ะไม่งั้นก็อาจจะไปไม่รอดนะคะ
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Alan.
Yeah, thank you. 我这个问题是问到 TE，那二位其实上午好。其实想问到小斌跟 Looking， 因为其实我们上一次在国际比赛里面打出了一个非常好的成绩，在冠军赛的时候，那两位也都是这个过程的亲历者。那你们觉得这个过程当中，当时最重要的一个体验或者说心得是什么？然后以及你们会打算如何把这种东西能够延续下去，或者说带到现在这次比赛？谢谢。
This question is for Tracy's words. Like last time, you performed quite well in Champions Show. So my question is, what do you think could be the most important part of that experience, and how will you bring that experience into this event?
我觉得上一次冠军赛我们能够发挥的比较出色，最关键的原因就在于可能就是相信自己训练的东西和相信队友吧。那我觉得，在这一次大师赛之前呢，我们也经历了很多的训练，然后也参加过这个很多场的比赛。那我觉得，我们这一次也只需要按照我们平时训练的东西来打，我觉得就能发挥出我们应有的水平吧。
I think the most important part that we learned from the Champions Show is that to completely trust trusting ourselves and also in our teammates, because we have practiced a lot off the scrims and also in the matchups. And also before this time, Masters Bangkok, we have practiced a lot. Like we completely trusted in us, and I think we just need to like perform as we're practicing all of the scrims and matchups, and that's it.
ค่ะนี่เป็นคำถามจากสำหรับ Trace Esport นะคะเขาถามว่าเนื่องจากว่ามีการเล่นที่ดีในแชมป์ที่ผ่านมานะคะอะไรคือสิ่งสำคัญที่ทางทีมเนี่ยได้เรียนรู้แล้วอะไรคือสิ่งสำคัญที่อยากที่จะนำมาใช้สำหรับการแข่ง Masters Bangkok นี้นะคะคำตอบของเขาก็คือการที่เขาต้องเชื่อมั่นในตัวเองนะคะแล้วก็เพื่อนๆร่วมทีมการซ้อมบ่อยๆนะคะสำหรับ Masters Bangkok นี้เนี่ยเขาก็ได้ซ้อมกันมาอย่างเต็มที่แล้วก็เชื่อมั่นในเพื่อนร่วมทีมที่จะสามารถไปสู่รอบลึกๆได้ค่ะ
Thank you. We'll continue taking questions from the online media, but if any of the in-house media want to line up next to the microphone to ask questions, we would encourage you to do so now.
ค่ะมีคำถามจากสื่อไทยไหมคะสามารถลุกมาถามตรงไมค์ตรงนี้ได้เลยนะคะข้างหน้า ค่ะเชิญค่ะ
We'll continue next with Arnab.
I mean, for me, I always have like high personal goals, just because that's who I am. But I know at the end of the day, it's probably gonna go to this guy because no one does it like him. So, yeah, I mean, we have big aspirations. Right now, we're just focused on Masters Bangkok and first match versus Trace. So, we'll see where the road takes us. But I'm expecting a Jagamo MVP.
Obviously, like you said, like we expect the highest like caliber that we come in to play. Obviously, there's only one person that sets me up correctly is my IGL. So I mean, I still gonna give my credit where credit's due. So he's always gonna be my MVP at the end of the day.
ค่ะคำถามนะคะจากสื่อทางออนไลน์คือถามว่าอะไรคือความคาดหวังอะไรคือจุดมุ่งหมายสำหรับการแข่งในครั้งนี้นะคะสำหรับตัววาลินเนี่ยเขาตอบว่าเขามีความตั้งใจที่สูงมากอยู่แล้วนะคะสำหรับ Master Bangkok เนี่ยแมตช์แรกที่ต้องเจอกับ Tracy Sport เนี่ยก็จะตั้งใจอย่างเต็มที่แล้วก็เขาก็อยากจะรู้เหมือนกันว่าการแข่งขันครั้งนี้นะคะว่าทางทีมเนี่ยจะไปได้ไกลแค่ไหนสำหรับตัวเขาเองนะคะเขาหวังว่าจากาโมจะเป็น MVP สำหรับแมตช์นี้นะคะสำหรับจากาโมเองก็บอกว่าตัวเขาเองก็มีความคาดหวังสูงมากๆแล้วก็จะพยายามทำให้ดีที่สุดค่ะ
Thank you. We'll take the question from the in-house media next.
ค่ะเชิญค่ะ
ครับผมถามวลินนะครับ ก็คือ G2 เนี่ยทำผลงานได้ดีมากๆในปีที่ผ่านมาจนหลายๆคนอาจจะลืมแล้วว่า G2 ก็คือทีมที่มาจาก Ascension ทีมหนึ่งอยากรู้ว่าอะไรคือสิ่งที่ G2 เนี่ยมีแตกต่างจากทีม Ascension ทีมอื่นครับเพราะว่าผลงานนี้โดดเด่นกว่าเพื่อนเลย
This is a question from FPS Thailand to Valin that G2 has been performing really, really well. A lot of people forget that you guys are coming from Ascension. So he wants to ask if what's the difference? What makes G2 better than other Ascension teams?
I would say that our core has have really good process within the team, starting from management all the way down. Everyone is responsible. Everyone has their responsibilities that they take every day, and I think when you just work hard every single day, try to get 1% better every day, like it's gonna sum into something greater. So we've made some great additions to the team, bringing in like Jogamo, bringing in Leaf. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to our identity as G2 or, guard before, but just how we operate. And we try to get better a little bit, even a little bit better, like every day. And eventually, maybe you'll be one of the best.
ค่ะเขาก็บอกว่าทีมของเขานะคะอยู่ด้วยกันมานานนะคะแล้วก็มีprocess การทำงานที่ดีนะคะตั้งแต่ฝั่ง management เองแต่ละคนมีความรับผิดชอบสูงมากมีหน้าที่ที่ต้องรับผิดชอบของตัวเองที่ชัดเจนนะคะแล้วก็แต่ละคนก็รับผิดชอบในส่วนของตัวเองได้อย่างดีนะคะอีกสิ่งหนึ่งก็คือพวกเขาพยายามที่จะพัฒนาตัวเองในทุกๆวันไม่ว่าจะเป็นวันละ 1% เองก็ตามแต่ก็จะพยายามพัฒนาให้ดีขึ้นนะคะสำหรับในรอบนี้ก็คือมีคนที่มาเสริมให้ทีมดีขึ้นไปอีกก็คือตัวจอกโมและลีฟนะคะแล้วก็ G2 ก็จะตั้งใจทำอย่างนี้ต่อไปนี่คือสิ่งที่เขาคิดว่าทำให้ทีมเขาแข็งแกร่งค่ะ
ครับผมต่อไปนะครับถามจอร์เกโมครับคุณ ตั้งเป้าจะดวลกับใครกับดูเล่นคนไหนในมาสเตอร์แบงคอกครับผม
This is a question for you, Giacomo. Who is the duelist that you want to face in Masters Bangkok?
Oh, I think it's been a couple years, and I definitely want to play King again. It's like one of my favorite players since 2023 when we met at like a Korean barbecue place. So I think King again.
Over the barbecue.
Yeah.
เขาก็อยากที่จะเจอกับคังอีกครั้งนะคะเพราะว่าไม่ได้เจอมาสักพักแล้วครั้งสุดท้ายที่เจอก็คือไปกินบาร์บีคิวด้วยกันมาค่ะ
โอเคครับถามเทสอีสปอร์ตนะครับผมว่า ในปีเนี้ยในปีที่แล้วคุณสามารถผ่านมาเล่นในแชมเปี้ยนได้ใช่ไหมครับแต่ว่าปีเนี้ยคุณกลับมาได้อีกครั้งในมาสเตอร์มีอะไรที่แตกต่างจากแชมเปี้ยนปีที่แล้วบ้างครับ
This is a question for Trace Esports. What do you think that the differences between from your experience from Champs last year and Masters Bangkok this year?
Yes, please.
To repeat the question, them being in Champs last year and being in Master Bangkok this year, what are the different what do they think are the differences for these two things?
因为 TE 去年也参加了世界赛，然后今年第一次参加到世界性的比赛曼谷大师赛，你觉得这两次会有什么样不同的体验？
我觉得就是可能更多的就是现在当今版本的阵容跟去年的那个版本就是不一样了，然后整体的不同的地图的阵容变得更加的多变嘛，然后我觉得这一点会让这个比赛的胜负存在更多的变数，然后由于大师赛只有8支队伍嘛，然后每支队伍都是各个赛区的第一、第二，那我觉得其实这一次大师赛的强度在一开始的时候就会非常的高，然后我觉得游戏内的话就是阵容跟地图池的变化，然后这个游戏性上的话就是整体的这个水平会更高一些。
So for the in-game content, like the patch has changed a lot. So the comps and maps are totally changed. So things are becoming more flexible, and we don't know. We're not sure which team is quite strong in which map or in which comps. And for the event, I think because for Masters Bangkok, there are only 8 teams from from 4 regions, and they're all top 2 teams from each region. So it might be more competitive compared with the champions. And I do think all the teams are at their very high level.
ค่ะก็เนื่องจากว่าฟอร์แมตที่เปลี่ยนนะคะแล้วก็มีหลายๆอย่างที่เปลี่ยนไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องแมปหรือว่าคอมคือการพูดคุยกันในเกมนะคะหมายถึงว่าจุดต่างๆก็อาจจะมองว่าค่อนข้างเป็นการยากที่จะต้องสังเกตว่าใครมีจุดแข็งอะไรตรงไหนนะคะก็สำหรับ Masters Bangkok เนี่ยเขารู้สึกว่าเนื่องจากฟอร์แมตที่ถูกเปลี่ยนเหลือ8ทีมซึ่งเป็น2ทีมที่เก่งที่สุดของแต่ละภูมิภาคเนี่ยทีมต่างๆเนี่ยอาจจะคือเป็นทีมตัวท็อปมาอยู่แล้วเพราะฉะนั้นการแข่งขันน่าจะสูงกว่ามากค่ะ
Thank you. We're going to take a question from the chat next.
你好，这里是暴龙电竞，想提问到 TE 的 Locking 选手来到曼谷，目前是否还适应？对于本次大师赛有哪些期待？This is a question for Locking, and the question is after coming to Bangkok, have you totally adapted to the whole environment? And what is your expectation towards Masters Bangkok?
就是来泰国之后还是比较适应的吧。然后我来这边是第一次体验那个泰餐嘛，然后我觉得很好吃啊。然后对于本次大师赛的期待的话，肯定就是更进一步吧。对于我们来说，就是突破我们最好的成绩8强嘛。
So after coming to Bangkok, I say I feel like I've got used to the atmosphere here, and this is also my first time trying Thai food. It is quite good. And for my expectations towards Masters Bangkok, I'd say the only thing I want to do is to make some breaks, like to get improved this time compared to like we did in Champions.
Thank you. And we'll take one more question from the chat.
你好，这里是赛高，想问到 TE 的 Locking 选手，这次是 TE 的第2次国际赛，世界赛的舞台和 VCT 相比，压力、节奏、战术深度都不同。相比全球冠军赛，这次队伍在心理上或者赛前准备上都做了哪些调整？ So this is a question for Trace Locking. So this is your second time attending an international event, and the international stage compared with VCTCN, the pressure, pace, and staff are totally different. So compared with the champions, in which part did you make any adjustments mentally and like physically?
因为对于我们来说，曼谷大师赛只是今年刚开始的第一个国际性赛事嘛，那我们其实更多的，是想通过这次比赛来检验我们的训练成果，然后，我们心态相比于去年参加冠军赛的话，肯定是会更加的平和一些的，因为，我们也是在一点点的去提高和进步，去验证自己的这种，战术和打法，然后。我们做的准备的话，可能更多的就是针对一些特定的地图，或者说是换个说法，就是我们在尝试去扩充我们的图池，然后针对我们可能之前不熟练的地图，有许多额外的针对性布置吧。
Since this is our first international event for this year, I think we like get improved step by step and to like expand our agents pool and also to practice more on some of the maps to get targeted.
Thank you. We'll continue taking questions from the room.
เชิญค่ะ
ถามเทสอีสปอร์ตนะครับตอนนี้มั่นใจขนาดไหนแล้วครับในการเจอ G2 ในแมตช์แรกและคิดว่าผู้เล่นคนไหนอันตรายที่สุดครับผม
This is a question for Trace Esport. You facing G2 on the first match. Who are the most intimidating one?
第一场比赛要对阵到的是 G2，然后有特别想对阵到的对手吗？觉得谁最有挑战性？这个问题提问到 Tracy Sports 的队员。
我觉得 G2 的整体水平其实都很强，但是我觉得我们重点关照的肯定是 Live 和 Jagimo 吧。
So in general, we think G2 is being quite strong and powerful, but for like the most individual we paid attention to, it should be Liv and Jogimo.
ค่ะก็ที่จริงแล้วทั้งทีมก็น่ากลัวอยู่แล้วนะคะแต่ว่าถ้าให้ต้องเลือก2คนก็คือน่าจะเป็นจักรโมกับ
To keep this fair, can we field that question right back at G2?
Yeah. I was watching a lot of Trace, so I think someone who caught my eye was Fang F, and Bianc. I think those are two, but they're all great. They're all very good.
I think I'm ready for Mr. Luo King. I think he looks insane.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from the room. Go ahead.
เชิญค่ะ
ก็คือถามในภาพรวมเป็นตัวแทนของทั้ง2ทีมนะคะก็คือคำถามแรกก็คือถามว่าคือในมุมผู้เล่นตอนนี้เขามองว่าการแข่งขันครั้งนี้มันจะสำคัญกับ career path ในอนาคตการเป็นนักกีฬา e-sport ของเขาแบบอย่างไรบ้าง
This is a question for both teams that as a player how do you see Masters Bangkok set the path for your future?
I'll take it first. For G2, I would say like it's gonna give us like a good start to the process to get to champs. We are running on like the Ascension like tournament if we do not get to champs. So getting the points that we want at kickoff was like the best start, and then obviously winning this, getting the 5 points would be like the priority for sure.
ค่ะก็สำหรับทาง G2 นะคะคิดว่าMasters Bangkok คือการเริ่มต้นที่ดีนะคะที่จะไปสู่แชมเปี้ยนค่ะก็เขาก็มี kick off ที่ประสบความสำเร็จนะคะแล้วก็หวังว่า5 point ที่จะได้จากงานนี้จะทำให้เสร็จไปถึงเริ่มจาก Ascension ก็อยากไปถึงแชมป์
这个问题是问到两队的，刚才 G2 的队员这边回答了，然后也要问到 TE 的队员，就是你认为曼谷大师赛是如何为你未来的职业生涯去铺设道路的？它扮演了一个什么样的角色？
主要是过程上的经历吧。然后我来到 TE 也是融入了快有1年的时间，我觉得我们是时候可以去争一下冠军了吧。然后相比较之前，就是外界对我们的评价一直都是什么运气啊之类的，我觉得是时候用实力说话了吧。
I think Masters Bangkok is being kind of a precious experience in my career, and I have joined Tracy Sports for nearly a year, and I think it's time to like get some grades and like prove ourselves. And I also think that before like some outside might say that we won because of luck. I just want to say that let's see in the real battleground this time.
ค่ะสำหรับ Trace Esport นะคะก็เขามีประสบการณ์มาในฝั่ง Esport มาอย่างยาวนานนะคะหวังว่า Masters Bangkok เนี่ยจะเป็นอีกหนึ่งประสบการณ์ที่ดีแล้วก็คนเนี่ยชอบพูดว่าเขาชนะกันได้เพราะว่าโชคเขาก็อยากที่จะใช้โอกาสนี้นะคะในการที่จะทำให้ทุกคนเห็นว่าจริงๆแล้วว่าเขาก็มีฝีมือค่ะ
แล้วก็อีกคำถามเดียวค่ะก็คืออันนี้ก็ถามตัวแทน
Just excuse me, just one question only.
อ๋อได้โอเคได้ถ้างั้นเป็นได้ก็คืองั้นไม่เป็นไรค่ะ
Yeah, thank you. We'll take the next question from Solera.
Hello guys, I'm Solera from VALORANT.GG. Congrats with qualifying for the event and good luck at Masters Bangkok. One of our followers on X would like to ask a question to Valen. What's the biggest difference between G2 with IC and G2 with Jogimo? Thank you.
I would say at the international stage with IC being a rookie, it was kind of difficult to field a lot of confidence when we stepped on stage because, and nothing against him, but he was new and we're also new as well. We came from Ascension, so we needed some experience. And so it felt like a team with a lot of potential, but also a lot of inexperience. And we fell short versus some of the big opponents like Fnatic. Now with Jogamo, I think being a world champion himself, he carries a lot of confidence in himself and it spreads to the whole team. So when we step on stage, now we feel good, now we feel confident, and we think we can win every single game.
Thank you so much, and good luck to both teams at this event.
Thank you. We'll take a question from the room.
Hi, my name is Mick from Maryland. I would like to ask Valin, can you tell me with your experience, you try to taking a tuk-tuk, it is most unique car of Thailand. And is there anything else you try to in Thailand?
The main thing has been the tuk-tuk. Honestly, just traveling is very fun. And we had a lot of people, so we took 3 of them and it felt like we started racing on the road. So it was like very, very unique. And other than that, we've been kind of in the room practicing a lot, so I didn't get to experience much yet, but hopefully we can find some time to experience Thailand more. Thank you.
Thank you. And this will be our final question from the press conference.
ครับผมอยากจะถามทั้ง2ทีมนะครับว่าจิตวิทยาในการแข่งขันมีผลมากขนาดไหนต่อฟอร์มการเล่นและก็มีเทคนิคใดที่ช่วยทำให้ทีมทั้ง2ทีมโฟกัสกับเกมได้ดีขึ้นครับ
How this is a question for both team. How it's mental preparation how important it is to both of you, and what are some tips and tricks how you prepare yourself mentally?
I think for me, I try to just take it every day, every step by step, day by day. I don't like to think too much about the event or too much about the tournament. I think sometimes it can overcomplicate things in your brain. And so, just enjoy life, take it every day, step by step, slowly, and just practice, work hard, and trust yourself. From there, anything is possible.
And I think that question goes to Trace as well.
这个问题要问到 TE 的队员，你们认为心理状态上去准备好应对比赛，对你们来说有多重要呢？以及你们平时是如何去做准备的？
心态上肯定是，主要是比赛的时候不能去太紧张吧，然后要找到平时训练的感觉。然后我觉得最好去调整的方式就是平时大量训练吧，然后大量训练能带来给你就是自信，非常强大的自信嘛。对。
I think the key to keep like mentally strong is being like, don't get nervous on stage. And I do think that by practicing a lot in our daily life could help us to gain as much confidence as we can. And that really helps.
ค่ะสำหรับ G2 นะคะก็พยายามที่จะโฟกัสวันต่อวันค่ะจะไม่พยายามคิดมากว่าเดี๋ยวแมตช์ต่อไปจะเป็นยังไงหรืออะไรเงี้ยค่ะมันจะทำให้เกิดการกังวลเปล่าๆนะคะเขาก็ซ้อมบ่อยๆแล้วก็ไม่คิดมากค่ะสำหรับ Tracy Sport นะคะก็คืออย่าประมาทตอนที่เล่นบนเวทีนะคะแล้วก็ซ้อมเยอะๆเพราะการซ้อมเนี่ยทำให้บูสต์ความมั่นใจค่ะ
G2, Trace Esports, thank you so much for joining us and good luck in your matches.
Thank you.
We'll be back in about 15 minutes with the next set of players. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Your name is Vera?
Yeah, my name
It's pleasure to meet you. Oh, yeah. Thank you. How are you doing?
Numbers, I didn't hear the
Oh, Stan?
This one. Thank you so I think the discussion will be only translating to 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. No, just start giving it out. Yeah, we'll save your work. For the ticket, the folder of tickets.
Oh, one more, yeah.
Start out with Robert.
It is the prepping part.
I feel like the first day will be checking things like later on.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just take the batch number. Yeah. Thank you.
How was your dinner?
My dinner was amazing.
We were brainstorming. Where is a good place?
Good, I can show you pictures.
Hello, chat. Am I audible? Hello. Can someone let me know if I'm audible or not? If you guys have any question for Stacks, Meteor, Safe or Durka, just type it in the chat and I'll ask them on your behalf.
I got like 5 minutes.
Okay. I wasn't sure who to speak to about this, but I'm not being on the desk for the last 4 days of the event, but I'm gonna stay here.
Okay.
How do I apply for like accreditation? Do we have anything on the ground?
We'll give you one.
Oh, okay.
You want just like a media pass?
Yeah, but I would like to do some, I know, I don't know at what point the one-on-one start. Is it lower
We're-
finals?
We're trying to be as ambitious, but we're kind of playing it by ear just
Okay.
because it's like there's so many people asking. Yeah, we'll give you a media pass. We'll
Okay.
try and give you consideration.
And is it like Discord? What's the?
If you're here,
what's the thing?
if you're here IRL, we'll do them in the PS5. I don't know if you're waiting for them.
Yeah, I do.
So if you're here on site, then we can probably do.
Oh.
Do them via.
Okay, great. And what about like tests? Is that, I guess that's.
I
the
have
Discord.
Google.
There's a Red Bull here.
Oh,
Are
that's
these
amazing.
for the commercials? Or?
'Cause
What?
I don't
Oh.
know.
What? Ah.
Oh, it is Rory.
Yes.
Ah,
Thank
Yep.
you.
I had a feeling.
Okay, but we can actually drink these Red Bulls, right?
But are they for commercials?
I'm not having a Red Bull. That's
Okay.
unhealthy.
And it's with sugar.
Yeah, it's super unhealthy.
We don't eat sugar.
Plus, last time I had a Red Bull, I crashed out, I think. Got tired.
Yeah. I remember.
How are you gentlemen feeling today?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're waiting for the other team, but
Yeah, I think they're here.
Oh,
think
yeah,
they're-
cool. We can get them on stage. Nice.
Have fun listening to
Then I
them.
think we are waiting
They're
for
joking around.
our English to Korean translator.
Once it's here, I'll change my screens.
We need one, yes.
정인님 영어 한국어로 할까? 아무래도. Okay, let's get the head.
Go one more.
Oh. 이건 안 되고. Okay. 안 시원해. 시원한 거 먹고 싶어. The audio is awful.
Check, check. Can you guys hear us okay?
I think so.
Yeah. Hopefully.
It was 12:05.
Yep.
So we are translator is busy right now. It should be done by 12.
Remember what I said?
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go there, try to push. Send you a message.
Yeah, can you give Stacks the other players just take them off the stage and I'll ask some questions.
Sure.
Hey, everybody. So we're waiting for a translator who needs about 10 minutes. We're going to start with the Vitality players first, and then when the translator arrives in 10 minutes, we'll continue with the joint press conference. Cool. So we will. Saif and Durka, I appreciate
Yeah.
your accommodation for this one.
We're just sitting here.
And we'll start with Brandon from esports.gg.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll send this to Durka.
Yeah, they can stay.
Yeah, you've had success, obviously, with Fnatic, 2 international victories there. Now, your first year with Vitality, you're coming to the, very first Masters tournament. So I'd just like to ask, and maybe if Safe wants to chime in on this, do you feel like you're kind of the piece of the puzzle that's the success, in the teams when they center that kind of around you, and that's why these teams are successful? Or, where do you find your place in terms of success, having found it with 2 separate teams now, even though it's still kind of early in this year?
I think with the success is just like me doing my job. I think I do a lot more than probably most of this in email in terms of like communication, what I want and stuff, because I probably have also the best experience in that terms. So not many have that in email. So I think when teams or orgs change that kind of a player, it's hard to kind of like fill in someone into that role without them getting that experience first. So I think me coming to Vitality, kind of like giving Save kind of some help with my role and us even having less and stuff, it gives Save kind of like fresh kind of start and makes it easy for him to be in an IGL. And I think like us 3 mainly, like make each other's lives easier. Because for me, like having Safe as an IGL and also X Duelist, it's like really easy to kind of like get set up and also just like talking what I want and stuff, and he makes those things happen. Then it's just easier for me to succeed in my role too.
Thank you. We'll take the next question is also going to go to Durka. It comes from Lucas Bouth from Stella Gaming. Durka, many people say that Vitality is a super team and have high expectations for the squad and its players. How do you handle these high expectations, especially in the team's first international event?
I mean, for me personally, I don't really care because I had that super team thing going on around me for a while. Like in Fnatic, everyone was calling us super team. Ever since we got like Leon Chronicle, for example, and even some that's before that, and now going to Vitality, I don't think that really changes for me. I think mainly kind of like for me, as long as the boys don't get pressured with it, it's all good. But I think, for example, I think Kicks probably is the one who will have that if you think about it. But I think the kid is dealing with it really well, and like I never felt like he's feeling any pressure. I think he's just chilling, and honestly, he looks like always super happy just to be here around us and just to play. I think he's enjoying it really much, and it's kind of like you don't really feel any pressure in the team or anybody stressing out.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Ravish.
Hi, everyone. Excited to be here. I'm Ravish from Canada, I think. I was going to say, just real quick, my question was to Safe. Safe, I want to ask a bit about your calling, because Dirk has spoken previously about how because of the trust in the team, him, Les, and many others have been allowed for essentially just individual play and freedom too. So I wanted to ask a bit about how you make it so that your team has both trust in you as well, to be able to allow it to have, just like the individual choice to how they move around the map, and how you kind of facilitate that as well.
I mean, it's a way of seeing the game. Let's say a lot of teams approach the game very structured, and you have these set rounds where you just do the same thing over and over again, and then sometimes you get new scenarios in them. But for at least for me and for my boys, I think when you get to, and I'm not saying one thing is better than the other, but when you reach a certain point of understanding, you start seeing that it doesn't really matter how you start the round. It doesn't really matter if Derke needs to go peak A or B. Like, you can do a lot of adaptations on the fly. And I think, well, how this team enables people to do what they want to do in the round is that we keep the same ideas, like at core, what we want to do throughout the round, but we're just making micro plays around the map, or like doing different things on the map that still make sense, like within the same round. So I think what I would say is how we do this, like just TLDR, is we don't have something like super set in stone, and it's a chain reaction of everyone adapting to what one person wants to do, but we still maintain the core idea.
Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll go next to Chobra.
Thank you. Hey guys, Chobra here from Korea. This is a question, we'll go with Safe here from Vitality. So now that you guys have finished the tutorial that's called VCT EMEA, what's it like to have to face up against real competition here at Masters Bangkok, starting with T1?
Exciting times ahead, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't say EMEA is the tutorial. I'd say like this year's EMEA had a lot of different type of styles, I guess, in terms of teams and how they play, and a lot of it is like you could kind of like matching up with how APAC play and how NA play as well. So I think maybe it's the real deal here, but I don't feel so fussed about, or so particularly excited to play, let's say. It's just another day at the office for us, I guess.
Gotcha. Thank you. And thanks for taking the question, and Jess, good luck.
Thank you. The next question is also coming to Safe. Is it very hard when you're a duelist IGL? Actually, let me go to the next one. Safe. The term fragging IGL has started to get thrown around a lot with players like yourself, Nats, Mako, Valen, etc. How important do you think it is for this tournament for IGLs to be putting up strong numbers?
I mean, obviously it's important to kill in game. I think it's super important for whatever role you play, even on the IGL. Like again, I think it's very different depending on what team you play for and like who you are as a player and how you contribute. Like we don't see inside team dynamics and how each individual player like contributes to the team. So I think it's like different for everyone. Let's say maybe me and Valen shoot, but maybe we contribute in a different way as well that enables us to do so. I still think the game is leaning in a way where it's super important that everyone, including the caller himself, has to frag and has to be able to put people down on sites in scenarios that he's going to get into. So I think that doesn't necessarily apply to all teams, but the game is leaning towards where this is more important.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Alan.
Yeah, thank you. So this is question for Dirk. Hi, Dirk.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. I saw your Instagram recently that one of your fans like asking you like, are you sad that you can't win camps with Fnatic? And that's a really cool answer. Like, well, I will win without them. So, will you win without them this year, or maybe like, or generally speaking, what is your expectation or anticipation of this year?
I mean, yeah, in that story, I was mainly saying just in general. I mean, of course, it's a thing that I'm not gonna win with them, so of course I'll win without them. And for me, this whole Fnatic thing is like every question I get to is like probably mentioned about Fnatic every day, and like people asking me about it or just mentioning it somewhere. And for me, it's kind of like it's a little bit boring. I feel like those people can move on from their ex teams or whatever. So I think for me, just like focusing on the future right now in Vitality, I want to like play with these boys. I want to like win with these boys. I'm having a lot of fun with them. So I don't really care about anyone else right now. And it's the same principle. Like if I played in Fnatic, I will not care what I had, like, for example, in Crowd, or like if people will not be asking me, oh, will you win champs with Crowd or whatever. Like I played team before that, you know, it's like new team, new fresh start. I just have I just want to have new fresh air, new team, kind of like new players around me and just win with them because I'm like currently having a lot of fun and that's all that matters.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we are now joined by the T1 players on stage. So we will go to William Cho for the next question. Cho, bro.
Thank you. This is a question for Stacks. So when T1's new roster was formed this year, a lot of people said T1 might be a Korean super team. But now that we've seen what a super team is supposed to look like in Vitality, what do you think about your matchup against them?
일단 솔직히 말해서 슈퍼팀은 바이탈리티 쪽이 더 가까운 것 같고요. 저희도 개개인적으로 실력 좋은 선수들이 많긴 하지만 아직까지 부족할 부분이 많고 자신은 있지만 그래도 이제 바이탈리티가 조금 더 슈퍼팀 같아 보이긴 하네요, 제 눈에.
네, 감사합니다. 그리고 화이팅입니다.
Can we get the English translation?
Okay. So what Stark said was, well, I would say Vitality would be a little bit closer to what a super team looks like because we do have great talents on our roster as well, but we're not there yet. We still have work to be done. So yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting facing Vitality, but I would say Vitality definitely is what a super team should look like.
Thank you. The next question is to Meteor. You're pretty good at using the Sheriff during matches. When mentioning Sheriff, many viewers will think of you. Are there any tips on using this weapon that you can share with them?
메테오 선수에게 드리는 질문인데 메테오 선수가 워낙 셰리프 잘 쏘잖아요. 그래서 셰리프 하면 딱 메테오가 떠오르기도 하는데 셰리프 잘 쏘는 팁이 있을까요?
그건 그냥 에임이 좋아서 셰리프를 잘 쓰는 것 같습니다. 오.
It just looks like I'm really good with the sheriff because I have good aim.
My bad.
My bad too.
Meteor, we got one more while you're on a roll. How does it feel qualifying for another Masters under a new team, even with familiar faces?
메테오 선수께 드리는 질문인데 이제 또 이렇게 국제대회에 출전하게 됐는데 익숙한 선수들이고 서로 잘 알기는 하지만 다른 팀을
대표해서 왔잖아요. 기분이 어떤가요?
일단 새로운 팀에서 마스터즈라는 무대에 온 것도 자랑스럽고 그리고 저희도 충분히 우승할 수 있다는 자신감이 있기 때문에 잘해보도록 하겠습니다.
Well, yeah, I think it definitely means a lot. I'm really proud of myself and my teammates for being able to qualify for an international event under the new team's banner, under T1 banner, actually. And I feel like I have enough confidence, and I am very confident that we can win the whole thing. So I'll try my best.
Thank you. We'll go next to Arnab.
Hey
Arnab,
guys,
if you
hello, can you
ahead.
hear me?
Yes.
Hey guys, first of all, congrats on qualifying once again. And my question is for Saif and Dappa both, actually. Saif, I remember talking to you after your upper qualifiers game, and you said that it would be interesting to play against Stax and Team because they are your favorites and you have always loved playing against them. Since you got that matchup, unfortunately at that time we didn't know what the matchups will be. I want to know your reactions as well as Darka's reaction against them, and same goes to Stax and Meteor as well. If you guys can share your thoughts on that.
I mean, they were practicing with us in EU, so it's I guess not surprising considering it's Riot Games that we're gonna play against T1, but I think it's gonna be fun at least because obviously like we had a little moment together when they were in Europe, so yeah, I guess I'm just excited. That's it.
이거 스택스나 메테오 선수도 얘기해 주시면 되는데, 바이탈리티랑 좀 우정을 돈독히 했던 경험이 있었던 것 같아요. 유럽에서. 좀 서로에 대해 어떻게 생각하고 있는지 궁금합니다.
저는 엄청 좋은 경험이었고요. 그리고 이제 그때 바이탈리티가 연습한 지 별로 안 됐음에도 불구하고 많은 좋은 모습을 보여줘서 상당히 기대하고 있습니다. 지금도.
그때 바이탈리티랑 스크림을 굉장히 많이 했었는데 질 때도 이길 때도 있었지만 질 때 좀 많은 걸 경험했고 얻은 게 많아가지고 좋은 상대 팀이었다고 생각합니다.
Well, Stax's answer was it was definitely a great, valuable experience. And even though when we practiced each other back then, Vitality was still a fresh roster and they haven't had much time to work on their teamwork. And yet they were still very good and still very strong. So I'm excited to see what they look like in the officials and on the stage now that they have plenty of experience playing as a team. And Meteor's answer was, yeah, we screamed them so much. And there were times when we would win and when we would lose. But when we lost Vitality during those scrims or practice, we had a lot of takeaways. We learned a lot. So I think they were a great sparring partner.
Thank you both of the teams and best of luck. Looking forward to your games.
Thank you.
Thank you. Durka, this next one's coming to you. After 4 years with Fnatic, pretty much as long as the VCT has existed, how easy or difficult was it to settle into the new team? And what would you say are the main differences between Safe and Boaster as IGLs?
Settling in wasn't difficult, really. I think. I mean, yeah, I've known Safe for ages now, and then less I've known for competition. So I think only new faces I came to was just like the org itself that treated me really well, and then also just like kicks and tracks were kind of like new faces, even though of course I knew tracks from the competition as well somehow, but never talked to him that much. But I think coming in was just good. Everyone's like really passionate, everyone's hungry, everyone wants to win. So for me that was just good, and me and Les bringing some experience from our past, and then like Safe settling in as IGL was like everyone was just good, smooth, everyone wanted to win. So I think a lot of that shared passion kind of like helped us. Main differences about Safe and Boaster, I would say again, like Safe used to be a duelist before me. So me coming into this team, I get more freedom than, for example, Boaster will give me. And even though both will give me sometimes the freedom, but also he just likes set stuff and kind of like playing more kind of like precisely set, kind of like, oh, you have to do these things and stuff and be like disciplined and safer on the server. But for say, for example, as he said, it's kind of like we just run the things, people say what they want to do, and we just do and adapt. And I think that play style in this team suits us more than if you will just play discipline and stuff, because sometimes you just have to go and kind of like do what you want and have some fun too. I think that's kind of like why people even started playing Valorant, because it was fun. And if you're not having fun, then there's no point playing.
Thank you. If there's any questions from the in-house media, please feel free to line up by the microphone and we'll start asking questions.
ค่ะถ้ามีคำถามสำหรับสองทีมนี้มาที่ไมค์ได้เลยนะคะสำหรับสื่อไทยค่ะ
In the meantime, Saif, we have one more question for you. During the grand finals of VCT and MEA kickoff, you played a total of 4 different agents, with each of them being from a different role. T1, in the eyes of many, is the Korean dream team. Other than your ability to be flex, what other skills do you feel that your teammates and you have to secure the win against T1?
I mean, we got good vibes. That's all there. Just the vibes, the spiritual energy in the air. We have the energy with us. So I mean, nothing I can put my fingers on right now. Like flex, agent, doesn't really matter. Just yeah, this team has good vibes, good players, and those in combo do well usually.
Who's the vibe merchant on the squad? Vibe merchant?
Usually they say it's me, but it's not. I think it's Kicks. I think it's Kicks. Yeah.
What are the player comms like?
Sarcastic jokes and yeah, making fun of ourselves. Yeah.
Appreciate the insight. Thank you. We'll next go to Ravish.
Hi guys. I actually wanted to ask T1 a question too. I was gonna say Meteor specifically as well. Meteor, I remember I got to talk to you many years ago, way back in one of the first matches that you attended. At the time, you mentioned that to be a good player, all you had to do was just shoot them and then they die. Was a really simple answer that you had because of how good you were on the server. Do you still hold that belief?
메테오 선수에게 드리는 질문인데요. 이분이 메테오 선수 마스터즈 좀 처음 출전하게 됐을 때 물어봤는데 어떻게 해야 좋은 선수가 될 수 있을까요? 라는 질문에 그냥 총을 쏘면은 상대가 죽으니까 잘 쏘면 돼요. 이런 식으로 대답을 했었는데 아직까지도 그 생각이 이어지고 있나요?
작년까지만 해도 그런 생각이 들었는데 요즘은 총을 다 잘 쏘다 보니까 이제 총을 잘 쏘는 대신 머리도 이제 조금씩은 써야 된다는 걸 많이 느끼고 있고 에임은 기본적으로 다 잘 쏜다 생각해서 이제 누가 더 똑똑하게 게임하냐 그 차이인 것 같습니다.
Yeah, up until last year, yes, I stood by it. But coming into this year, I feel like everyone is a shooter. Everyone can shoot. So now you got to have a little bit of brain in your play too. And so yeah, since everyone is a good aimer, I think what really differentiates good player from a bad one or a mid one would be how smart you can play the game.
Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Thank you. We'll next go to Mohammed from VLR. If you can unmute your mic.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, so this question is for Safe. So Safe, we've seen in the past that with Liquids before that you've primarily have been playing Raze, now switching back to a more flexible role, like how you did in maybe Guild or some of your teams in the past. How was the switch from that position to a more flexible role, complementing the team as well as supporting your play calling style?
Not that hard because I mean people tend to forget because I only I was flashy when I was on Duelist, but people forget that I never played this game as Duelist from the start. Like I was playing Viper, Cypher, Killjoy. I was playing Sky, and then people saw me on Duelist and were like, "Oh, this guy's Duelist main." And then I'm like, "Bro, I never played. Like, I just picked up Duelist because my team needed it. So, me going back doesn't make a singular difference for me. I just like flexing in this game. I think it's fun, and I get easily bored if I play the same thing over and over again. So it caters to me very well. Yeah,
Thank you. Good luck for the tournament.
thank you.
Thanks. We'll go to Wandy next.
Yeah, hi guys. So this question is for Meteor. Regarding your post on Twitter after Pacific Kickoff, you say that you wanna play happily again. Could you share more with us on what you mean by that?
메테오 선수에게 드리는 질문인데 이제 킥오프 결승전 이후에 트위터 아니면 X에다가 이제 행복하게 발로란트를 하고 싶다라고 얘기를 했잖아요. 이거에 대해서 자세히 얘기해 주실 수 있나요?
우선 전 팀이었던 24년도 젠지에서는 좀 웃는 모습이 많았고 제가 게임을 했을 때 굉장히 즐겁다라고 생각을 많이 했었는데 팀을 변경하면서 좀 힘든 부분이 많았어가지고 그런 부분을 좀 까먹고 있어서 퍼포먼스적으로나 팀적으로나 좀 안 좋은 모습이 나왔던 것 같기도 해가지고 이제 마음을 다시 바꿔야겠다 생각이 든 것 같습니다.
Well, back in 2024 when I was in Gen G, I saw myself smiling a lot and really enjoying the game, and I really did. But switching teams coming into this year, there were a lot of challenges for me to take care of. And I think during the process of transitioning into a new team, I forgot that I need to enjoy the game. And I think that's part of the reason why, like individually and team-wise, there were some pieces missing and some lackluster performances sometimes. So that's when I told myself, hey, I really need to enjoy the game again and start with a fresh mindset.
Thank you. We'll now take a question from the floor.
ก็ถามตัวแทนทั้งสองทีมนะคะว่าการแข่งขันถ้าเปรียบเทียบแล้วอย่างเงี้ยการแข่งขันในปัจจุบันกับเมื่อก่อนเนี้ยมันแบบต่างกันยังไงบ้างแล้วเขารู้สึกว่าเฮ้ยตอนนี้มันมีอะไรที่ต้องแบบเติมเต็มหรือขาดเหลือไหมประมาณนี้ค่ะ
What are the differences between, since the format has changed? What do you think are the differences, and what are the things that you think that you need to improve, and what are the things that you think that you could have done better for this year? This is a question for both teams.
That's a great question.
Can you start?
Yeah.
Jen?
네, 일단 포맷도 대회 포맷이 바뀌었는데 우승을 위해서 아니면 좀 더 좋은 성적을 내기 위해서 어떤 부분을 좀 집중해서 봐야 하고 어떤 것들이 필요할까요?
일단 저는 좀 깊게 생각하지 않는 편이라서 아마도 저는 일단 포맷은 일단은 뭐 늘상 이렇게 뭐 바뀌는 거는 당연한 거니까 그거 말고 그냥 저희 조에서 바이탈리티랑 저희랑 이기는 팀이 높은 곳까지 갈 것 같다라는 생각밖에 안 들어요.
Well, regarding the format, like there's always been format changes, so no surprise. I'm not really looking too deeply into it, but what I do know personally, I feel like between Vitality and T1, I think the one that wins this game will make it really far into the tournament.
ค่ะก็สำหรับเรื่องที่ความแตกต่างนะคะรู้สึกว่าการเปลี่ยนแปลงเนี่ยมันมีมาตลอดอยู่แล้วก็เลยไม่ใช่เรื่องที่แปลกใจแต่สำหรับแมตช์ที่จะถึงระหว่าง Vitality กับ T1 เนี่ยเขารู้สึกว่าใครก็ตามที่ชนะในแมตช์เนี่ยค่ะจะไปได้ถึงรอบลึกๆได้แน่ๆ
Thank you. Durka, Saif, are you guys dodging this one or?
I mean, about the format, honestly, I don't know. It changes like they said, like every event and stuff, and also like I think in Madrid they played same forums maybe, but I wasn't in Madrid, so I don't know. And like other changes, I can't really say much.
Yeah, I have nothing.
All right.
Sorry.
Nah, we tried. All right. William Cho, we'll go next to you.
All right, thank you. I have another question for T1. This is for Stacks again. In the past, for Korean teams that have done well internationally, they've always had a very distinct style. So obviously for you, you know DRX very well, set plays, you know, all of that. And then last year's Shenji, it was about the defaults, the trading. So what do you think is kind of the uniqueness of T1? Or do you think you guys are still in the process of figuring out what T1's Valorant looks like?
작년에 젠지랑 그리고 잘 나갔었던 DRX에 모든 게 좀 합쳐져 있는 느낌이라고 보시면 될 것 같은 게 개인기량도 출중하고 이제 유연하기까지도 하고 그리고 이제 하고 싶은 것도 하면서 저희끼리 맞춰 나가는 모습이 조금 더 인상 깊을 것 같아.
Well, Stax's answer was, I would say T1 is the culmination of last year's Genji and also DRX when DRX was in its DRX era. Everyone has great aim individually, and we can be very fluid with our plays, and also we can adapt really quickly and really well to whoever we're playing. So yeah, I would say it's just mixture of Genji and DRX at its prime.
Thank you. We'll take a question from the room next.
ค่ะเชิญค่ะ
ครับตัวแทนจากคอนทนจีนะครับขอถามทั้งสองทีมครับว่าในช่วงเวลาที่ผ่านมาเกม Valorant เปลี่ยนชีวิตทุกๆคนไปเป็นยังไงบ้างแล้วคิดว่าการแข่งขัน Valorant Master Bangkok นี้จะเปลี่ยนชีวิตพวกคุณอีกครั้งหรือเปล่า
This is a question for both team again. How Valorant have changed your life, and how do you think Masters Bangkok would change your life?
I mean, Valorant itself, I think, changed a lot. I mean, gave a job kind of. You travel a lot, you practice a lot, you go to office to play the game and stuff. It kind of like changes the way you just play the game in general because it's kind of like a job and not just for fun now. And then you get to travel a lot, play these tournaments, and it's kind of like, I mean, I love competition. So for me, going and playing into tournaments, I think it's just a really good feeling, and especially like winning them, I think is also the best feeling. Of course, like if you lose and stuff, it's like it sucks a little bit at first, but then it makes it all worth when you actually win. And about Bangkok, honestly, but first we have to see where it will go because I can't say right now.
이거는 티원에게도 드린 질문인데, 발로란트가 본인의 인생을 어떻게 바꿔놨는지, 그리고 방콕 우승하면 인생이 또 어떻게 바뀔 것 같은지 궁금하대요.
우선 일단 좀 발로란트를 하면서 굉장히 열심히 살고 있구나를 느끼고요. 그리고 방콕을 우승하게 된다면 한 해 스타트가 좀 좋은 스타트가 될 것 같아가지고 기분이 좋고 일단 우승을 함으로써 저희에게도 좀 더 자신감이 생기지 않을까 생각합니다.
Well, Valorant for me, it just makes me realize how hard I hustle every single day to be a good player, all the grinding. And also winning Masters Bangkok, it would mean that we would have a great start to this year and also would be a huge confidence booster for the team.
ค่ะสำหรับทีม Vitality นะคะสิ่งที่Valorant เปลี่ยนแปลงชีวิตพวกเขาเนี่ยก็คือเดินทางบ่อยขึ้นแล้วก็ซ้อมหนักขึ้นนะคะแล้วก็ตอนนี้เนี่ยเมื่อมันกลายเป็นการแข่งขันมันกลายเป็นเหมือนงานเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยการเล่นก็เปลี่ยนไปสไตล์การเล่นก็เปลี่ยนไปนะคะการชนะเนี่ยก็เป็นสิ่งหนึ่งที่เป็นความรู้สึกที่ดีที่เขารู้สึกว่าเป็นประสบการณ์ที่น่าจดจำนะคะส่วนการแพ้เนี่ยก็ทำให้เขาได้พัฒนาตัวเองขึ้นไปอีกส่วน Master ยังตอบไม่ได้ค่ะสำหรับทีม T1 นะคะ Valorant ทำให้เขารู้สึกว่าเขาเนี่ยต้องทำงานตัวเขาเองเนี่ยมีศักยภาพในการเล่นขนาดไหนแล้วก็ความขยันว่าจะต้องซ้อมหนักมากแค่ไหนนะคะแล้วก็การที่ได้ชนะแมตช์ต่างๆเนี่ยช่วยเสริมสร้างความมั่นใจให้พวกเขาได้อย่างมากค่ะ
Thank you. We'll take a question from the room.
ครับอยากจะถามทั้งสองทีมนะครับว่า คุณคิดว่าจิตวิทยาในการแข่งขันมีผลมากแค่ไหนต่อฟอร์มการเล่นครับและมีเทคนิคใดที่ช่วยให้ทีมคุณทั้งสองโฟกัสกับเกมได้ดีมากขึ้นครับ
อันนี้รู้สึกเหมือนเมื่อกี้ถามอีกทีหนึงใช่ไหมคะ this is sorry it's similar to the previous session what do you think that mental preparation is important for both of the team and what do you do to prepare yourself mentally?
Yeah, I think mental preparation is important, and I think anything you do in life, it doesn't need to be like something very specific. Could be your job, could be even walking the dog when you don't have energy to walk the dog. That's also mental preparation. So I think it's something very important in everything we do in your day-to-day tasks, and especially important tasks that you really want to focus on. And some things that I personally do is, I mean, I listen to a specific kind of music. It could be some superstitious things to get your brain in the right zone. It could be waking up at a certain time or eating a certain food. And for me, I just like to listen to music and not talk so much to people in the morning. Be on my own a little, and then once like you start going towards the venue or things like this, that's when things start ramping up. So yeah.
T1 선수들에게도 드리는 질문인데, 선수에게 멘탈 관리가 얼마나 중요하다고 생각하나요? 그리고 멘탈 관리 개인적으로 어떻게 하시나요? 라고 물어봤는데, 세이프 선수는 개 산책할 때도 필요한 게 멘탈 관리라, 본인은 음악을 듣고 아침에 사람들이랑 말 별로 안 한다고 뭐 그러는데, 특별한 멘탈 관리 방법이 있을까요?
일단 엄청 중요하다고 저도 생각을 하고 뭐 노래 듣는 것도 중요하고 사람마다 다 다르겠지만 저는 일단은 그냥 너무 그냥 많은 것에 신경 쓰지 말고 그냥 발로란트에만 집중을 하다 보면은 좋은 것만 듣고 좋은 것만 볼 수 있어서 그런 걸로만 그냥 행복하게 살 생각입니다.
Well, yeah, definitely listening to the right type of music is important. But I think for me, how I mentally prepare myself would be not to be concerned or worried about specific things or other things. Just focus on Valorant and, listening to good music, watching positive stuff with good energy. Just focusing on that great energy, having that good vibe around me. And yeah, I think I mentally prepare myself like that for Valorant, but also for a happy life as well.
ค่ะสำหรับทีม Vitality นะคะเขารู้สึกว่าการที่จะเตรียมตัวในด้านเชิงแบบจิตวิทยาเนี่ยเป็นสิ่งที่สำคัญมากนะคะไม่ใช่แค่การเล่นเกมแต่สำหรับทุกๆอย่างในชีวิตเพราะว่าการที่เราจะทำอะไรเนี่ยเราจะต้องต้องพร้อมอะค่ะไม่ว่าจะเป็นการเดินจูงหมาหรืออะไรก็ตามแต่ก็คือต้องพร้อมอยู่เสมอนะคะแล้วก็มันเป็นสิ่งสำคัญมากที่เขาจะต้องเตรียมตัวสำหรับเซฟเองเนี่ยเขาชอบฟังเพลงค่ะก็คือฟังเพลงที่ช่วย boost energy เขาแล้วก็ตอนเช้าเนี่ยเขาจะเทคนิคของเขาคือจะพยายามไม่คุยกับใครค่ะส่วนของT1นะคะก็เช่นกันค่ะก็คือชอบการฟังเพลงนะคะเพลงที่ฟังแล้วสบายใจนะคะแล้วก็ไม่กังวลกับอนาคตข้างหน้ามากเกินไปนะคะแล้วก็โฟกัสกับสิ่งที่ทำอยู่พูดง่ายๆก็คือเขาชอบการฟังเพลงที่ทำให้ตัวเขาเองเนี่ยมีการคิดบวกนะคะหรือว่ามี energy ที่ดีเป็นการแบบช่วย boost energy ค่ะ
ครับผมจาก FPS Thailand นะครับผมในแมตช์ที่เจอกันครับคิดว่าฝ่ายตรงข้ามมีอะไรที่น่ากลัวบ้างครับทั้งสองทีม
This is a question for both team. What do you think is the most intimidating things about the other team?
그 상대 팀 있잖아요. 바이탈리티를 봤을 때 가장 견제되는 부분이 뭐라고 생각하세요?
Stacks' height.
Yeah, I've never had. I'm going shelling. 저는 세이프 선수랑 킥스 선수가 조금 흥분했으면 좋을 것 같아요. 그럼 제가 이길 것 같아요. 너무 차분해서 이게 너무 차분해서 이게 보여요. 전 이게 쟤네들의 그 키포인트라는 게 보여서 좀 흥분하게 만들면 어떻게 해야 될까? 그게 제일 좋을 것 같아요. 흥분하게 만들면 제일 좋을 것 같아요.
I think I would want Kicks and Safe to be tilted or overly excited because they usually are very calm and collected. So it's easy to figure out their weakness. So if they get overly hyped, they overextend, or if they get angry, they will crumble for sure. That is our key point.
สำหรับ Vitality นะคะเขารู้สึกว่าสิ่งที่น่ากลัวที่สุดสำหรับทีม T1 ก็คือความสูงของ Stacks ค่ะแล้วก็สำหรับทีม T1 นะคะเขาอยากให้ Kicks กับ Safe นะคะโมโหค่ะเพราะเขารู้สึกว่าการที่ทำให้อีกฝ่ายหนึ่งแบบโมโหหรือว่ามีอารมณ์ขึ้นมาได้เนี่ยมันคือจุดอ่อนแล้วถ้าเกิดว่าเขาสามารถที่จะรู้ว่าจุดอ่อนนี้คืออะไรเขาสามารถที่จะทำให้อีกทีมพ่ายแพ้ไปได้อย่างแน่นอนค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you. We'll go to Yinsu next.
Hello. Apologies if this already been asked. I missed the middle part of the press conference, so it has just told me to go away. I have two questions. One is for both Safe and Meteor. Now, within your region, you're both very respected ISO players, and you don't get to play against really that many other players that do play ISO. So in the event that you will go up against each other on ISO, first of all, I want to see what you think about the other person's ISO. And second of all, please give me a prediction how many times you're going to kill the other person in the ultimate.
I mean, I think Meteor is insane, but to be honest, I'm not that good on ISO. Like, I'm not that great. I don't think I win many ults because you should see in MEA. I think I won one ult out of like.
It's actually 65% of your ults you win. I did the math, yeah.
Well, that's over 50%. So I guess it's okay, but I still think like I'm gonna get humbled.
So how many times do you think you're gonna be able to take him down in the kill con?
How many do we have in total, you think? Like, let's say out of 6?
Go for it. Out of 6?
3.
All right. Okay.
That's political.
메테오 선수에게도 드리는 질문인데요. 일단 뭐 서로가 세이프 선수도 그렇고 메테오 선수도 서로의 지역에서 아이소를 잘하는 걸로 굉장히 유명한데 사실 지역에서는 다른 아이소를 하는 선수를 많이 상대 안 해봤잖아요. 그래서 상대 아이소에 대해서 어떻게 생각하는지 그리고 궁 써서 1대1 했을 때 누가 몇 번 이길 것 같냐고 질문이 들어왔는데 세이프 선수의 답변을 좀 통역해 드리자면 메테오 선수가 훨씬 잘하고 자기 아이소는 메테오 선수의 아이소에 비하면 별론데 이제 궁을 별로 못 이겨봤대요. 한 번 이겼나 했는데 사실 인수가 얘기한 승률로는 65%의 궁 승률이 있다고 하더라고요. 그래서 평타 치는 것 같다라는 반응이었고 메테오 선수와 뭐 6번 궁을 써서 1대1을 뜬다면 그중 3번은 이길 것 같다라고 얘기를 했습니다.
일단 세이프 선수의 대회를 많이 좀 챙겨봤는데 궁은 계속 지시더라고요. 저는 다 이기거든요. 그래서 뭐 궁을 데리고 간다면은 거의 다 이길 것 같고요. 그리고 솔직히 저는 저희 둘뿐만 아니라 저는 알파이에르 선수가 굉장히 잘한다고 생각하기 때문에 알파이에르 선수 아이소를 요즘 많이 참고하고 있습니다.
Well, yeah, I did watch. Like I followed up with how Safe plays ISO. Every time I watch him, he would lose in the kill contract, but I win all of them. So for me, it would be kill contract. For him, it would be a death sentence if we do get to play each other on the ISO. But other than that, I feel like I think Alpha is a great ISO player. So I've been kind of watching how he plays the ISO too.
I had to teach him, by the way, so I had to teach Alpha because he was losing every single duel in practice.
I will say that Durka does have 100% win rate in the kill contract of all time on ISO. Indeed, yeah, 100%.
He's only done one.
No, it was 8 out of 8 on Icebox. I think it was against you at one point. Yeah.
We won against him on Icebox 13 too.
There you go then. My second question actually is for Durka. Now, I've seen the hardship that you've had to go through being here playing without skins on your account. Could you tell me on your team who's best with a default skin and who is worse with a default skin?
I actually can't remember who was the best. I think everyone was whiffing. I think I mean, Save got the skin, so he didn't play default. I think it was only me, Trex, and Kicks who didn't have skins. So I'll say Kicks was the best. I was probably the worst because I need the skin so bad. Because if I don't have the sound and the dopamine that gives them, it just annoys me a lot.
Right, thank you very much.
Material girl.
Slay.
All right. We are going to take one more question. Scott Robertson, if you'd be so kind as to close us out.
That's a lot of pressure. Thank you. This question is for Dirka. I just want to get your thoughts on what you are hoping for out of the new duelist that's going to be shown at this event.
Ooh. They're gonna show it. Or what?
Yeah, at the end
At
of
the
the
final,
yeah.
probably. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because the team is about those. I don't know. Honestly, I think I just hope it has some movement ability because there's a lot of duelists that they made that don't move. There's only like only viable duelist that you can play as a main duelist is probably only like Jet and Race. If you play anything else, you're kind of trolling. Like if I pick Phoenix, yeah, I have the flash and the wall maybe, but I cannot dash forward, so it doesn't like it doesn't matter when people molly me or like stop me somehow. Just round the ends there. So I just want something more playable against these metas, so you can just go through and make the space for the team. Because if there's more like ISO, Phoenix, and those agents, then it just gets really boring and you cannot play them anyways.
Thank you. We're actually going to do one more question. We'll take it from Jane to close us out.
Yes. The question goes to Patitek. What was the reason for choosing
Patitek is
Patitek? Yeah.
He's not on stage.
Oh, sorry. The question is for sorry, T1. T1 has a strong fan base in Thailand, and previously, like Thai team did the cheer sticker for you. Do you have any message for Thai fans who will be cheering for you at this event?
일단 저도 일단 너무 응원해 주신 걸 감사하게 느끼고 있고, 그리고 이제 저 하일랜드 이제 CGR 선수 피클라라는 선수도 있는데 어제도 재밌게 촬영을 했고 응원해 주는 모습이 너무 고마워서 좋은 모습으로 보여드리겠습니다.
I would first like to say thank you. I really appreciate the Thai fans supporting us, and we actually shot a content with CGRS Kla, and it went well. So I think it's gonna be fun, and yeah, thank you.
ค่ะก็คำถามจากคุณเจนนะคะก็คืออยากจะมีอะไรฝากถึงแฟนๆชาวไทยหรือเปล่าจากทางทีวันนะคะเขาก็บอกว่าที่จริงก็เพิ่งถ่ายคอนเทนต์กับพี่กล้า CGIS ไปนะคะก็รอชมกันค่ะ
Thank you so much. T1, Vitality, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. This will conclude the press conference, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes with the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Bro, I don't know how to tell you. Vlogging with Bhavyat. That to compare that, he should play the game, dude. He's not playing the game. I mean, he has 2 Masters trophies. So yeah, sure. Sense is better. But Darka also have 2 international trophies. So, although Darka lost against Tense to win the first Masters trophy. So, you know, I can give you that. But again, then Vitality has less. By the way, we have Marco freeing Celsius and Narrate coming up. If you guys have questions for them, just drop it in the chat and I'll raise my hand, and if given chance, I can ask on behalf of you. You can see who is coming next. This is the 3rd scrum of the day. We'll have Marco and freeing from DRX and Zelsus and Narrate from Sentinels. So if you guys want any questions to be asked, just let me know. Guys, we have 3 people in the chat. At least like the stream, dude. Helps me a lot. Anyone who is joining the stream right now, we are waiting for the 3rd scrum of the day, which will be featuring Marco and freeing from DRX, Zelsus and Narrate from Sentinels. If you guys have any questions in mind that you want to ask them, please feel free to drop it in the chat. I have my hand raised in Zoom, and I can ask question on behalf of you. While you're at here, make sure to like the stream, subscribe if you want, because I will be in Bangkok to cover the event. I'll most likely post some vlogs and footages from the event itself. So if you're interested to see those kind of stuff as well, make sure to subscribe so that I can, whenever I upload, you guys will get it on your feed. And for live coverage and instant updates, I'll be posting on my Twitter, which is at it's a no. You can find it on the description box, and if you drop a follow, that would be really appreciated.
คิดว่านะแต่ยังไม่ชัวร์นะคิดว่าน่าจะใครน่าจะกั้นตรงนี้เป็นแบบเรคคอร์ด
ครับผม เดี๋ยวอยู่กับเพื่อนผมนะเขาอยู่
I think the players are here. We are about to start. I'm not sure because I'm hearing them talking. Again, if you have any questions that you want to ask in the chat, feel free to drop it. I can ask on behalf of you guys. I have my hand raised on Zoom so that I can ask them. And yeah, if you guys are wondering who is gonna come right now, this is the third scrum of the day, and we will be having Marco and Freeing from DRX, Zelsis, and Narrate from Sentinels. If you guys have any questions for them, feel free to drop it in the chat. I can ask them. And yeah, that's it, right?
드실래요? 아이스크림 먹으세요. 부모님. 오, 아이스크림. 왜? 초콜릿. 목동자 같은, 이거는 뜻? 임자? 나중에 먹어야겠다.
Are we going now?
Right? As soon as they start streaming the camera, I'll switch the camera as well.
How could you forget this face?
Oh.
We can hear Zilsis as well. I think they're here.
Check, check. We're going to start in
Oh.
just about a minute.
There you go. I'll mute myself, and once they are live, I'll change my scene as well.
I've never done this. I think we did it all as a team. Not with like other teams, I'm saying.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. Last time it was IGLs for Madrid.
IGLs. It's always when IGLs.
Just a warning, your mics are hot.
Yeah. You know what? We probably weren't supposed to be here. I mean, definitely was like, I don't want to do it.
Probably.
And then now we're here.
Zelsis, just so you guys know, your mics are hot. You're good. You can put on the headset, but just, yeah.
Testing. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
준비되셨나요?
네.
네.
Hello, everybody. We are joined by Sentinels and DRX. And we'll begin with some questions from the remote media first, and then we'll move to the in-house. Ravish, would you be so kind as to start us off?
Yes, I would. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Ravish here. My question goes over to Jordan.
Hey, man.
Hi, Jordan.
Sorry.
Hey, what's up, bro? You good?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah. Jordan, my question to you is, you've been an impact player in many of Sen's recent matches, going above and beyond. I've had many expectations people have had. How do you plan to use this play style that you've elevated yourself towards to be able to disrupt DRX's set plays?
I mean, just hoping I can go nonverbal and my team picks up the comms and then I can shut them down.
Respect. Love that for you. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll go next to Pedro.
Guys, could you guys hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Pedro Romero, independent journalist. First off, give my thanks to all four of you guys for giving us the time for this press conference. I'm gonna give my question over to Sentinels, them being Narrate and Zosis. I'm gonna split it up into two different questions because I understand there's little opportunities for us to ask many questions. So I'm gonna give my chance right here. And so for Zosis, obviously it's a little bit of a repeat in terms of Sentinels reaching Masters at the very start of the year, last time being last year, in which we already know what happened in Madrid, coming out on top of that. What I want to ask you, though, is how do you kind of look at the journey between, qualifying for Masters Madrid and then doing well over there, and then the journey to qualifying for Bangkok, and then trying to do well here. And so and also on top of that, I'm gonna ask this one over to Neri, but Celsius, if you can answer the first one, please, I really appreciate it.
I mean, yeah, it's amazing to be able to, I mean, out the gate, qualify for Masters right out the gate, especially considering we had a lot of identity crisis during the offseason, you know, testing things. I mean, I think we got a little bit lucky in the offseason with our roster moves, getting Neri and Bang. Like, they're very talented players, very hungry to win. And I think being able to qualify as early as we did with the amount of time we've had as a team and being so young is a blessing. So, I mean, I'm just happy to be here, to be honest.
And you want me to, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously. Oh,
I can ask my question. It's a different one for you, Neri.
oh, okay. I thought it was the same one.
Yeah. We've seen plenty of like development and I would say evolution of yourself, especially in this beginning half of this year. I mean, I remember talking to you like earlier on before the start of kickoff, and I got a sense of like you having that development not just as a player but also as a person, and saw a lot of semblance or a lot of aspects in that transpiring in real time as kickoff transpired. And so what I want to ask you, Narita, is on top of just seeing your return to Masters, your second Masters, how do you kind of look at your development as an individual, specifically in this first split of the entire, given the trials and tribulations you had to overcome alongside with that of the rest of the team?
I think in terms of my development, like throughout kickoff and stuff, I would say before I wasn't like super confident, not like super confident, but in terms of like I didn't know exactly what I needed to do to help us win. We were still like trying things out. We changed things, so I was just trying to find my voice in the team. And I feel like after, I feel like I know what I need to do and how I can impact the game. And during kickoff, it was like sometimes it was a struggle to do that. Sometimes it worked out really well. And yeah, I think I learned a lot just from playing that tournament. And obviously, I'm super happy we qualified, even though I feel like I wasn't at like my best form. But I think overall, like it was a very good experience.
Thank you. This question goes to Mako. It's from Tong Duong of Quang VALORANT Vietnam. This is the first time Freeling is going into a Tier S tournament like Masters. What do you think about his performance during the offseason and kickoff?
마코 선수에게 드리는 질문인데요. 이번 대회가 프링 선수에게는 개인적으로 첫 1티어 국제대회고 첫 마스터즈 대회인데 프링 선수의 오프 시즌 퍼포먼스와 킥오프 퍼포먼스에 대해서 마코 선수가 어떻게 생각하는지 들어보고 싶다고 합니다.
일단 걱정했던 것보다 되게 무뚝뚝한 사람이어서 그런지 되게 걱정되는 부분이 없어져가지고 사실 이번 첫 국제대회이긴 하지만 뭐 떨림 없이 잘할 것 같아가지고 그냥 개인적으로도 기대되는 사람 중에 한 명이고요. 그리고 오프 시즌 때랑 킥오프 때도 저희끼리 이제 팀업 같은 것도 잘 맞춰왔었고 또 이제 굉장히 잘 받아들여져가지고 그냥 무난하게 흘러갈 것 같아요.
Like, to be honest with you, I was a little bit concerned with how he would perform before the season started, before the off-season events. But this guy, he's like the epitome of stoicism. He's very stoic, so he doesn't get tilted a lot. So that kind of washed away some questions or concerns that I had for him. And even though this Masters would be his first international tournament, I think he would do really well. And I'm excited to see how he would perform. And I expect a lot from him. And we really did work on our teamwork and team plays during the off season and also during the kickoff. And he settled in very well. So yeah, I think nothing's going to be too challenging for us. We're going to have a great tournament.
Thank you. Mako, we're coming back to you with one more. This is your first international tournament as an IGL. What are some of the things that you want to do differently as the leader compared to the previous iteration of the DRX lineup?
마코 선수에게 드리는 질문인데 이제 IGL로 출전하는 첫 대회인데 어떤 부분에 좀 집중하고 싶은지, 그리고 이전에 했던 IGL링과는 다르게 어떤 변화를 주려고 하고 있나요?
이전에는 그러니까 24년도 때 IGL을 맡았을 때는 제가 아직 미숙한 부분이 여러모로 좀 많았어가지고 약간 그것들을 보완해가지고 25년도에는 또 색다른 좀 저의 모습을 받아들여 줬으면 좋겠고 그게 전부 다인 것 같아요.
When I took over the IGL role last year, I had a lot of things to improve on. A lot was there to be worked on, but hopefully this year I've worked really hard on it too. So I get to prove myself as an IGL and kind of show different sides of me to the viewers and the fans as the IGL of the team. And yeah, that's all.
Thanks. Zelsis, we're coming to you next. Tens was a big piece of the Sentinels puzzle, with one tournament and a very respectable result to show for already since his departure. How would you reflect on his absence from the team ahead of what is going to be the Sentinels' first international appearance without him?
I mean, I think we're going to be good. I've said before in an interview, I think this Sentinels roster is the highest skilled ceiling we've had with the potential. Obviously Tens is a phenomenal player and he's an X factor, but you know, we have our own little X factor here. So that void is filled. But yeah.
Thank you. We'll next go to William Cho.
Thank you. Hey guys, Chobra here from Korea. I want to start with a question for DRX. This is for Freeing. So obviously you won VCT Pacific kickoff playing only Taeho, but it just so happens that on the other side, also John QT played basically only like 8 rounds less or something than you with the Taeho as well. So we've got two kind of Taeho merchants in this matchup. First of all, the first part of the question is do you think that you're the better Taeho? And the second is, do you think the Taeho usage will be the deciding factor between the two teams?
프링 선수에게 드리는 질문인데요. 이제 킥오프 때 우승을 했는데 그때 태호만 플레이를 해서 킥오프 우승을 했잖아요. 근데 센티널스에서는 종키티 선수가 비교를 해보면 프링 선수와 비교해봤을 때 고작 8라운드 조금 덜 태호를 플레이했거든요. 그만큼 이번 시즌 종키티 선수도 많이 했다는 건데 누가 더 태호를 잘하는 것 같은지, 그리고 태호를 누가 더 잘 쓰는가가 두 팀의 대결에 있어서 얼마나 승부에 영향을 미칠 것 같은지 궁금합니다.
지금 메타에서는 태호가 굉장히 영향이 있는 캐릭터인 만큼 일단 그날 컨디션마다 좀 다를 것 같긴 하고 아마 뭐 비슷비슷하지 않을까. 누가 더 태호를 잘하냐는 모르겠고 저는 비슷비슷하다고 생각합니다.
그 종규티 선수 태호 하는 거는 보셨죠?
조금 봤습니다.
아, 네. I watched a little bit of Taeho, John QT playing the Taeho, but I think it's too early days to decide who's the better Taeho player. But definitely, yeah, in this meta, Taeho is definitely meta defining. So it would really be down to who's feeling it more on the day.
Thank you. This one's going to go to Zelsis and Mako. The last time you two faced off against each other was in the upper bracket quarterfinals of Valorant Champions 2024. That time, Sentinels won the match 2-0. Both of you have multiple new teammates on your team with different playstyles and roles. Do you feel things will go differently during this fixture, or will history repeat itself?
I mean, it's just going to be another 2-0, to be honest, for us. So, sorry.
마코 선수에게도 드리는 질문인데요. 이제 이 두 팀이 마지막으로 만났을 때가 2024년 챔피언스 승자조에서였는데 센티널스가 이겼고 2대 0이었잖아요. 근데 이제 뭐 각자 새로운 역할을 담당하기도 됐고 또 그리고 팀에 새로운 선수도 있는데 이번 승부는 좀 다른 결과를 기대해봐도 될까요? 아니면은 뭐 그때랑 똑같이 끝날까요?라고 얘기를 했는데 젤시스 선수는 2대 0으로 끝날 거다. 미안하다 이렇게 얘기를 했어요.
사실 그때랑 좀 많이 바뀌었다고 생각을 하고 있고요. 저희 팀이. 그리고 그때는 이제 뭐 저희가 실수를 많이 한 것도 있지만 또 센티널 쪽에서도 잘한 게 맞아가지고 사실 이번만큼은 이제 저희도 좀 다를 거라서 결과가 또 뒤바뀔 수도 있죠.
그럼 DRX가 투어?
네.
알겠습니다. Well, back in Champions, 2024, we did make a lot of mistakes. That's on us. But Sentinels did play very well, and they were the strong team on that day. But we had a lot of internal changes when it comes to the players and the system that we have. So I think, yeah, it's definitely going to be 2-0, but DRX 2-0.
Thank you. We'll go next to Scott Robertson.
Thank you. This question is for Narrate. When I spoke to Zelsis after the MIBR game, he said you were the MVP of vibes for that series, micro calling for people, calling out mistakes the team was making. When did this become a more prominent part of your game, and is there someone you can credit for making that happen?
Man, I wouldn't say it's like a super prominent part of my game. It's more of just after like we played G2, we lost. We kind of like a lot of the matches before that we came out really flat, and so we're just like, guys, like if we don't go out in the game just screaming, just being like super hype and just vibe merchanting everybody, like it's just gonna be another like really tough match for us. So I mean, I just did it. Like that was my job, and I just did it.
Thank you. We'll go next to Alan. Alan, let us know if you're there. Yeah.
Yes, this is
ahead.
me. Yeah, okay, thank you. So this is a question for DRX, maybe Marco or free for you both. So the first question is about comps. So DRX have choose really few comps with flash agent. Like you have Taeho, but you seldom have like Breach or any other agent have flash. So is there a really a certain reason that why you choose comp with so few like flash agent? And this is my first question. And my second question is, so for this master, a lot of voices thinking that Pacific is the weakest region among all 4 regions. So what are your thoughts about this? Thank you.
아무나 얘기해 주시면 되는데 프링 선수가 하셔도 좋을 것 같아요. 일단 첫 번째 질문은 DRX의 조합을 보면 좀 특이한 게 뭐 태호가 있지만 태호는 플래시가 없는 요원이잖아요. 근데 유독 다른 팀에 비해서 좀 플래시 요원을 많이 안 쓰는 것 같아요. 그래서 특별한 이유가 있는지 이거랑 이번 마스터스에서 퍼시픽이 가장 약한 지역이다 라는 평가가 있는데 거기에 대해서 어떻게 생각하시고 있는지요?
일단 플래시 없는 조합을 일단 안 쓰는 이유는 제가 봤을 때 투드론, 그러니까 드론이 2개라는 점을 좀 높게 평가하는 것 같고, 그래서 플래시보다는 뭔가 뭐 소바나 페이드나 뭐 이런 거 쓰는 것 같고, 그리고 퍼시픽 저는 개인적으로 저는 되게 높게 평가를 하고 있는데 뭐 다른 분들은 좀 낮게 평가하는 것 같아서 별로인 것 같고. 저는 되게 높게 평가하고 있습니다.
되게 네?
되게 높게 평가하고 있습니다.
네. As for the first question, Fring's answer was, I think the benefits of having 2 drones overrides the benefits of having flash agents, and I think that's why we opt for more of a Sova Fade flashless comps. And as for the second question, Fring said, I honestly think very highly of the Pacific region. So I don't know, maybe those who rate us low have no idea what they're talking about. But yeah, I think Pacific is strong, super strong.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. If the on-site media would like to start lining up, we'll begin taking questions.
ครับสื่อไทยค่ะมีคำถามต่อแถวได้เลยนะคะ
In the meantime, we'll take a question from Brandon at eatsports.gg.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'll send this over to both the Sentinels guys, kind of asking for a retrospective, I guess. Last year, Carmine Core was where Narrate was, lost in the first Masters to Sentinels. Now you guys are on the same side of things. So just kind of want to know from both of you, what's the difference in terms of, confidence this year, vibes coming into the tournament, just how you guys feeling, knowing that, last year you guys were on completely opposite sides of the things, with Casey kind of going out early, Sentinels winning it all. This year, no matter what, you guys are going to be on the same side, whether you lose, whether you win. So just how you guys feeling heading into it compared to last year?
I think a big thing for us is confidence. Like Marshall said before, we've been putting in a lot of work and like coming out flat on series. I think that's our biggest struggle right now is our coming out first maps. We're not as confident. We're not as energized. I think that's a big thing we worked on in kickoff. I think it'll be the same here. As long as we come out firing on all cylinders first map, we'll be okay. In terms of confidence, I think we should be the most confident. We've been putting in a lot of time, a lot of work. We're very talented, so there's no reason we shouldn't be. Can't speak for Narrate, but I can allow him to answer a little bit for your KC question. But for me, I think we should be the most confident, to be honest.
Yeah, for like, KC losing to Sen, it's a complete fluke. Should never have lost that. But I think the team now is definitely like a very strong team, and I think we definitely have a lot of experience that other teams don't have. And also, all the teams here are relatively, I wouldn't say like they're new, but they have a lot of roster changes. Not a lot of the teams are the same other than like G2. So I think it's definitely going to be like learning experience for everybody. And I think we're the most confident to win at least.
Thank you. We'll go next to Rabia.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So my question is to Sentinel guys. You guys had to travel a long distance to reach Bangkok. I think it takes about 20 hours or so. How are you guys feeling right now? Are you rested well? How has been Bangkok for you, and what have you been enjoying the most?
Feeling like $1 million, I mean, we actually had like when we got here, we fixed our sleep schedules pretty quick. So I don't think like jet lag or anything is really like affecting us. I feel like it's a bit of an excuse to say it is. But I think we'll definitely be ready for our match at least.
Celsius?
I mean, I'm feeling great. Like Marshall said, we landed very early in Bangkok and we stayed up all day, and we're trying to adjust our schedules around the match time. So yeah, I'm feeling good.
Awesome. And if DRX guys can also chime in and share their experience at Bangkok so far, that would be great.
그 마커 선수, 프링 선수도 방콕 적응은 잘 하고 있는지, 뭐 어떤 것 같은지, 웃긴 얘기 없는지 궁금합니다.
일단은 제가 더위를 많이 타서 태국을 오자마자 조금 어지러웠어요. 그래서 조금 적응하는데 시간 좀 걸릴 것 같아요.
웃긴 얘기는 일단 좀 없는 것 같고 잘 안 나가서 일단 처음에 왔을 때 되게 더웠는데 지금은 좀 잘 적응하고 있는 것 같습니다.
Well, Mako's answer was, well, it's way too warm in here. I mean, the weather and the temperature. So the first time I stepped out of the airport, I was nauseous. I was getting dizzy because of the heat, and I'm still getting used to it. But yeah, it's definitely tough. And Fring's answer was, yeah, because of the weather, we don't really go out, like outside. We stay in our hotel. So, but I think I'm getting used to the heat though.
Thank you.
Awesome. And best of luck everyone for the match. And for now, it's 2-0 on side of Sentinels. And as fans, we hope that we don't see a 2-0 this time and get a full 3-map game.
Thank you. All right, we will now take a question from the on-site media.
ค่ะเชิญค่ะ
ครับจากไอเพชรไทยแลนด์นะครับถามโซซิสครับขอ3เหตุผลที่คนไทยต้องซื้อ Sentinel Bundle ครับผม
This is a question to Celsius. Give us 3 reasons to buy Sentinel Bundle.
One is I don't have pens anymore, so I need help keeping the lights on. 2, we're gonna win this tournament, and 3, I should be your favorite player, so you should just buy the Sun Bundle for me.
ค่ะข้อหนึ่งนะคะก็คือต้องการเงินค่ะต้องการ support ต้องการความช่วยเหลือจากแฟนๆนะคะข้อที่2ก็คือเขาจะชนะMasters นี้ให้ได้นะคะและข้อที่3เพราะว่าเขาเป็นผู้เล่นคนโปรดของทุกๆคนค่ะ Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hello guys, I'm Solera VALORANT.GG. We ask our followers to ask questions to the pros, and here's a question for Mako. It's a question about 959 days. How does it feel to finally come back to Masters event after a year? And what are your expectations for this tournament?
박호 선수에게 드리는 질문인데요. 여기까지 오기 900일 넘는 시간을 기다려야 됐는데 다시 돌아오니까 기분이 어떤가요?
일단은 이 마스터즈라는 배경이 너무 보고 싶었고 또 이제 보라색 색깔을 좋아하는 편이라서 되게 뭔가 좀 뿌듯하면서도 아, 이렇게 너무 오래 걸릴 거였나 싶은 생각도 들고 그냥 지금은 되게 재밌게 생각하고 있는 것 같아요.
Oh yeah, it took us a long, long time. I missed the press conference background. I missed that, and I actually quite like the color purple. So, you know, having the purple vibe around me, I miss that as well. And I am definitely proud of myself and the team for being able to take part in Masters, but also at the same time, I'm also like, why did it take so long for us to get here? But yeah, but as for now, I'm trying to enjoy every day and have fun.
감사합니다. Good luck to both teams.
ครับจากคอนโทรจีนะครับเซนติเนลและดีเอครับเป็นทีมที่มีแฟนชาวไทยตามเชียร์เยอะมากๆและหลายคนก็หวังว่าวันหนึ่งจะมีทีมไทยได้เข้าไปแข่งในระดับเดียวกันกับพวกเขาซึ่งในฐานะที่พวกเขามีประสบการณ์และน่าจะเคยเจอกับทีมไทยมาบ้างแล้ว คิดว่าทีมไทยมีโอกาสที่จะได้ไปอยู่ในระดับนั้นขนาดไหนครับผมแล้วก็มีนักแข่งคนไทยคนไหนที่น่าจับตามองหรือมีอะไรอยากฝากบอกกับแฟนๆที่จะมาเชียร์พวกเขาที่งาน Master Bangkok นี้ด้วยครับ
This is a question for both team that both Sentinels and DRX actually has a very huge Thai fan base here. And you both have probably been, play against the Thai team before. Do you think that the Thai team would have an opportunity to be on, a international league? And if so, which of the player that you think is the one that people should keep their eyes on?
Well, I mean, it's Primi, right? Primi's Thai, so and Talon is like a Thai team. They're Primi's like an absolutely insane player, so I definitely think he has like out of any other Thai player, he definitely has the most potential, like to be back on the stage no matter what. Whether it's with Talon or not, like with Jib Boys is also really good. Cruz as well, so I would say them.
I agree.
ค่ะสำหรับทางทีมเซนติเนลบอกค่ะก็ต้องเป็นพรีมี่นะคะจากทารอนแล้วเพราะว่าทารอนก็มีผู้เล่นคนไทยหลายคนแต่ถ้าให้เลือกสักคนหนึ่งที่ควรจับตามองเนี่ยก็คงจะเป็นพรีมี่ค่ะเพราะรู้สึกว่าเขามีศักยภาพในการเล่นสูงมากนะคะแล้วก็รวมถึงจิบบอยแล้วก็ครูด้วยค่ะ I also want to ask DRX
DRX 선수들에게도 여쭤보는 질문인데 이제 DRX도 태국 팬들이 많은데 태국 팀이 국제 대회에 진출할 가능성은 앞으로 어느 정도 되냐라는 질문과 지켜보면 좋을 만한 태국 선수는 누가 있을까요?
일단은 탈론 선수들도 진짜 잘하지만 저희가 이제 평소에도 태국 팀들과 스크림을 해보면은 챌린저스에서 활동 중인 팀들도 되게 잘한다라고 지금 생각을 하고 있어가지고 아마 이제 이번 연도나 진짜 내년에는 더욱더 많은 팀들이 좀 그러니까 잘하는 팀들이 많이 생길 것 같고 이번 연도 국제 진출은 뭐 작년에도 이미 탈론은 챔피언스도 진출해봤어가지고 되게 가능성도 되게 높다고 생각을 하고 있고 뭐 당연히 태국 선수 하면은 프리미 선수가 지금 되게 핫하잖아요. 그래가지고 뭔가 불가능을 가능하게끔 만드는 라운드를 좀 많이 만들어줘가지고 그 선수가 지금 되게 잘하는 것 같습니다.
저는 마코 선수랑 비슷한 생각하고 기대되는 선수는 프림이랑 뒷보이 선수 좀 기대하고 있습니다.
Marco's answer was, yeah, Talon's of course a very strong team, a good team, but scrimming other Thai teams, I think in Thai challengers, there are pretty strong teams out there too. And I feel like the scene is only going to grow bigger and bigger as time goes. I think like even this year or looking ahead to next year, Thai teams will be stronger and there will be a lot of competitive teams in the Thai scene. And Talent made it to champions last year, and I think they are a good team. And I think there's a high chance that they will make it to other international tournaments. And as for the player, I would say Primi, because he has this magical talent of winning the rounds that he shouldn't be winning. And he literally makes impossible situations possible. And Fring's answer was, yeah, I agree with what Mako said about the Thai scene growing and becoming more competitive. As for the player to watch, I would say Primi and Jit Boys.
ค่ะก็มาโกบอกว่าสำหรับจริงๆแล้วทีมไทยเนี่ยมีทีมที่เก่งหลายๆทีมเลยนะคะนอกจากทารอนแล้วเนี่ยที่อยู่ในได้ไปแข่งแชมเปี้ยนปีที่แล้วเนาะเขาได้สกรีมกับทีมไทยหลายๆทีมช่วง Challengers นะคะแล้วก็รู้สึกว่าจริงๆแล้วเนี่ยมันมีทีมที่เก่งแล้วก็แข่งเนี่ยค่อนข้างเยอะมากในอนาคตเนี่ยก็มั่นใจว่าจะได้เห็นทีมไทยบน international level มากขึ้นนะคะและคนที่คิดว่าน่าจะต้องจับตามองก็คือแน่นอนว่าเป็นพรีมี่นะคะเพราะว่าพรีมี่เนี่ยสามารถทำให้แมตช์ที่ดูน่าจะไม่ชนะได้เนี่ยก็ชนะกลับมาได้นะคะหรือว่าทำให้สิ่งที่แบบทำได้ยังไงวะเขาก็ทำได้นะคะส่วนฟริงก็เห็นด้วยกับที่มาโกพูดนะคะแล้วก็เห็นด้วยว่าคนที่น่าจับตามองคือพรีมี่แล้วก็จิตบอยค่ะ
Thank you. We'll take the next question.
เช่นค่ะ
ครับจากออนไลน์สเตชันนะครับครับผมเป็นคำถามเดียวกันกับ4ทีมเมื่อกี้นะครับก็อยากจะถามว่าทั้ง2ทีมมีจิตวิทยาในการแข่งขันมีผลมากน้อยแค่ไหนครับต่อฟอร์มการเล่นแล้วก็มีเทคนิคสำคัญอันไหนที่ช่วยคุณโฟกัสกับเกมได้ดีมากขึ้นครับ
This is a question for both team of how you mental like how you handle the mental preparation and what are the tips and tricks for you to prepare before the big match.
I think for big matches, it's just kind of all the same of just trying to get as many scrims in as you can with the times you have before your first match. Because I think at internationals, between landing and the first match time is kind of impossible to have any time to do anything because you're doing a lot of riot features, riot content, tech checks, and then you're trying to also, you're still a human, so you need to eat and sleep and everything like that. So I think the biggest thing is just making sure you're doing everything leading up to match day in terms of food, sleep, rest, mental relaxation and recovery, everything like that, and then just playing the game together with your team as much as possible without stressing yourselves out.
DRX에게도 드리는 질문인데요. 이런 큰 경기, 중요한 경기 앞두고 멘탈 관리나 뭔가 준비는 어떻게 하시나요?
뭐 크게 뭔가를 한다기보다는 저희끼리 그냥 약간 뭐라고 해야 되지? 그냥 약간
으쌰으쌰. 파이팅. 파이팅 넘치게.
그냥 화이팅 넘치게 하는 것 같습니다.
Well, nothing too different or special. We just try to keep the good vibes up, high energy. Let's go.
Nice.
Fighting.
Thank you. We'll take a remote question right now. Tyler, you've been waiting for a long time. Would you like to ask one?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. So this question's for Zelsis. I'm not sure you know, but you are the oldest player competing at this tournament. Considering the amount of experience you have under your belt, what have you been able to teach your teammates, especially your younger teammates, to help them develop their maturity and help them build a good mindset, both in and out of game as a leader on this roster?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is as I've gotten older, sadly, I'm a little bit more patient. Whereas like the young guys, when I was their age, I wanted it now. I think I think I can bring a lot more of enjoying the journey and enjoying like what we're doing in the moment rather than jumping all over the place. I think that's a big thing for young guys in esports to understand. Obviously, our field is not very forgiving in terms of time and patience, but I think that's kind of how you can survive in this industry is patience. So I think that's a big thing that I'm trying to help them with. And I mean, they're very receptive to the old man wisdom. So I am indeed the oldest player here. And when I was told that, I was kind of shocked. But I mean, I'm only going to get older, and then my teammates are only going to get, you know, younger, and nothing will change. So I have to live with that. But yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take a question from the in-house media.
เชิญค่ะ
My name is from Stan. This is question for Celsius. Yeah, you had the opportunity to compete in the first master event, and what do you think this is different this time around?
Good question. I like that. Thank you. Honestly, I don't think anything really changes from master events to master events. I do think from masters to champs, there's a lot of difference. I think it's just kind of like the prestigiousness of each event. But in terms of each masters, I mean, the first masters there was no crowd. It was like during the COVID era, so that was a little bit different. No crowd. It was a little bit more hectic in terms of like we would have to get like COVID tests and everything like that before we leave or whatever. Whereas now, obviously, everything's kind of more free. But yeah, in terms of masters preparation or in terms of master events, I guess nothing really changes that much. These events are, I mean, we only get 3 a year, so these events are very special, especially to us players, I feel like. So I'm just very blessed to be able to compete at another one.
Yes.
ค่ะก็จริงๆคำถามนี้ก็คือถามว่าเนื่องจากว่า Celsius เนี่ยมีโอกาสได้แข่ง Masters มาตั้งแต่ Master แรกนะคะก็เลยคำถามจากทางเมนสแตนก็คือมีความแตกต่างอะไรบ้างตั้งแต่ Master แรกกับ Master นี้แต่จริงๆแล้วเนี่ยที่อยากจะ point out อีกอย่างหนึ่งก็คือคำถามก่อนหน้านี้ Celsius เป็นคนที่มีอายุเยอะที่สุดในทีมตอนนี้นะคะเขาบอกว่า Master แรกเนี่ยไม่มีผู้ชมเพราะว่าเป็นช่วงโควิดเนาะก็เลยแบบว่าอาจจะ energy อาจจะไม่เหมือนกันกับ Master หลังๆนะคะแล้วก็ตอนนี้เนี่ยก็คือมีfreedom มากขึ้นแล้วก็มีแฟนๆมาชมมากขึ้นก็เป็น energy ที่ดีค่ะแต่ว่าในเชิงของการแข่งขันเนี่ยก็ไม่ได้รู้สึกว่ามีอะไรเปลี่ยนไปมากค่ะ
Thank you. And Ravish, you can close us out with the last question.
Beautiful. Thank you all so much. Just my final question goes over, you know, I started here, might as well end it here. Jordan, hi, it's me again. I've wondered about this for a very long time, and I wanted to ask you this. Look, you've had a renaissance through your hair, throughout your entire time, all the way back in V1 and before. What would it take to take you to go bald, bro? What is it? What are the stakes to just take it all off to the bone?
If we win Masters Bangkok, I'll shave my head.
Beautiful. That's what I want to hear. Let's go, Jordan.
Let's go.
Thank you. All right. Sentinels, DRX, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. And this will conclude the press conference. We will be back momentarily with EDG and TL. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's up? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question
All
for
right, we got one
Celsius. Did you buy the Edward bundle?
I bought the Edward bundle.
Yeah, thanks.
I did buy the bundle. Thank you.
That was King for everybody else on stream.
Oh, that's it?
Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to ask him hands. So, well, if you want to know about the goals, I had a chat with Celsius at the start of this kickoff event. His reply was that champs is the final goal for the team this season. Before they even qualified for Masters and everything. It was always been their structure and core performance of the team so that they can improve and be strong for the finals champions in Paris. So yeah, that were the team goals. Apart from that, next we have Kang Kang, Chichu, Nats, and Patritek from EDG and Team Liquid, respectively. I have my hand raised still, and if again I get a chance to ask any questions, I can ask on behalf of you guys. So type it in the chat if you want to know. Also, make sure if you guys subscribe, that would be an amazing thing for me, especially. Other than that, I'll be traveling to Bangkok soon. We'll be covering the event from there. We'll be posting some vlogs. I'm not sure about a whole vlog, but I'll be posting few clips here and there. So if you subscribe, you'll get the notification or in your feed. And you can watch. If you guys want anything specific from there, you can DM me on my Twitter. I respond to as much as I can. Yeah. Also, for quick and regular updates, I'll be active on my Twitter or X nowadays, as people call it. So yeah, I would really appreciate if you drop a follow and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Once they go live and switch these scenes, I'll switch mine as well. Okay, we are good to go.
Hey, everybody. We are here with TL and Edward Gaming. We'll begin with questions from the remote media, and then we'll move on site. Please use the Zoom hand raise function if you have a question, and then we'll call on you. Brandon, would you like to lead us off?
Sure thing. I'll ask this to Nats, and if Chichu wants to chime in, he can. He's your number one fan right next to you. I just want to know, you're only like 8 months older than he is. So I just want to know how it feels to kind of be looked up to, by somebody so close in age, to be able to either, kind of bring his dream to life on stage when you guys play, or even crush it by, being his first loss at Masters.
Sorry, that question goes to me.
Yeah, it goes to you, and if Chichu wants to respond, he can. Yeah.
Wait, can you repeat the question? I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Just, Chichu has always kind of talked about how he looks up to you and everything. So I'm just curious, how it feels, you're so close in age, just how it feels to have another player, another peer kind of look up to you like that. And, what your thoughts are on potentially being able to crush your number one fan's dreams on stage when you guys play.
Yeah. I mean, it feels good, to be honest. It feels good in terms of even playing against him. That's a good feelings that it's not always happen. It's even barely happening, to be honest, that you playing against your big fan, but it feels just good. I don't know how to explain that, and I'm happy to play against him so much. It's also interesting because when you play against him, you kind of already know that he knows what you're gonna do, so you need to think twice ahead. Do you really want to do that, or should you think about doing different stuff? That's interesting and that's cool.
Does Chichu want to say anything to Nats?
球球，其实刚才他是问到说，其实我们也知道你是 Nats 的小粉丝儿嘛，那就是而且你们的年龄也相仿，他可能问到 Nats 就是说年龄相仿，并且他可能你会把他当成是你自己的偶像嘛，而且你们第一场对阵的话，他也有可能会再亲手粉碎一下你这个小粉丝的梦，就比如说会在比赛当中打败你啊，那你对此会不会有什么回应想要说呢？
我觉得比赛嘛，有输有赢，但是，我们这次也是很有准备来的嘛，也不会像之前，那么简单被击碎了。我觉得我们这次很有准备，我觉得这是我们该赢了。
Juju said, competition, win or lose, but this time we got a lot of preparation for this matchup, and also we're not gonna be beat that easily. This time it's our turn to win.
Okay, let's have a good game then.
Thank you so much. We'll take the next question from Alan.
Okay, thank you. Hello， 下午好。 我是 Allen。那个，我想问一下，就是二位啊，因为其实我们 VCT 的起点赛是开始的最早的，然后也是结束的最早的，所以其实跟其他赛区的时间上会有一点区别嘛，就开始的早，结束的早。那你们自己觉得这样一个时间的情况，你们是觉得会给你们，比如说更多的准备时间吗？还是更多的休息时间？会有一个什么样的感觉？然后你们觉得会给你们带来一些什么样的优势吗？或者是劣势，什么都可以。谢谢。
So maybe translate.
Just after he answers the question.
我觉得打得早，休得早，结束得早，是因为我们正好要过中国新年，对吧？我们过新年，所以说我们得休得早啊。其实其他感觉没有啥，因为我们当时也在过年嘛。
我觉得更多就是休息时间嘛，然后准备的东西其实还是跟结束时间其实没什么区别的，因为总体时间其实也没有那么多能变动的东西，其实也不会那么的太多吧。
好的，谢谢，加油。
So the question is like for CN League, your kickoff starts earlier and end earlier compared to other league. So the time difference will give you more time to, no matter you want to rest or prepare for the Master Bangkok. So do you think there are any effect on you, no matter it's positive or negative? And Hong Kong's answer is that the reason why we end earlier is because we have like Chinese New Year. And other than that, I didn't feel like too much difference. And Chichu said, I think we do have more time to rest, but I don't see really much different about our changes. I mean, we don't have too much changes during this time.
Thank you so much. We'll go next to Ravish. Like to unmute your mic. I think he might have stepped away. We'll go to William Chobra.
Thank you. Chobra from Korea here. I have a question for EDG, and I'd like to hear both players' answers if we can. But the question is you're almost the only team that has retained the same starting roster after winning champions. The only team to do that, aside from you guys, was back in 2021 with Ascend, and every other team has, kind of changed players for one reason or another. So I'm wondering, does this give you maybe more pressure because there's the same expectations as the exact same roster as last year, or is there maybe something different that maybe makes it easier for you guys?
这个问题希望两位 EDG 的选手都能够回答。其实在，上次冠军赛之后，不像其他队伍做了一些人员上的变动，那 EDG 是保留了原班人马的。那你们觉得就是像这样，其实大家也会对你们有更多的期待吗？这会给你们这会给到你们一些压力吗？又或者说，其实对于你们来说，其实是更有优势的？
我觉得没有什么压力吧，毕竟每一个新的一年都是一次从零的开始。然后我们是5个人，可能更多的优势就是在于大家都是拧成一股绳的人吧，就是反正我觉得劲儿都往一处使儿，然后就好好打吧。
我觉得就是压力这个东西，在我们首尔的时候，其实已经验证过，就是我们没有压力的时候，我们打的会比较好。所以说，我觉得我们现在不要去在意任何外界给的压力，我们只需要保持我们自己的冲劲就好。
So Kongkong's answer is that we feel like there's no pressure about that, about the roster didn't change, and we just want to say this is new year, everything just start from zero, and I think our advantage is like our strong point is about our teamwork. All of our members have the same goal. We always work together. And Chuchu's answer was that I feel like in Seoul we have see that if we got no pressure in that situation, we can play better. So we're just gonna keep that momentum and do better in this tournament.
Thank you. We'll go next to Pedro Romero.
Yes. I got a question for Patty Tech. Obviously, I remember when we last had a discussion before the start of this entire year, and it gave me a sense of promise as to how far this team can go. And it'd be fair to say that I didn't expect for you guys to make Masters, but still, it's a testament to the improvement of the team. And I want to ask to you, Patty Tech, what enabled this team to play so well, especially at the very start of the year? And also, what are the biggest factors that you have played into the team from the start of kickoff up until this very moment that allowed you guys to play so well as you have?
I think it's a mix of everything, honestly. Great individuals with great coaching staff, and obviously Ayas Nuts sitting next to me, switching back to the IGL role. I think he did a great job about it, and he's on his way to become one of the greatest IGLs, in my opinion. About me, I think what I bring to the team, I mean, I just be confidence, you know. I think that's the main point. I bring confidence to my players, and I think especially with the young roster that we have right now, giving confidence to the younger players is very important, so they can basically just focus on shooting and nothing else, you know. Me and Ayas are the guys to do the dirty work, and they just do the shooting part, you know. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you. We'll go back to Ravish next.
Thank you. Sorry. My question is for Kong Kong. Now, you had mentioned previously, and I think many people have expressed that they see you as the main character, whether it be in a game or in general in life. Now, I want to ask specifically from your point of view, if you were the main character of, let's say, an anime or a cartoon, which one would it be and why, perhaps?
Can you like repeat the last part of your question?
Sure. Yeah. If you was the main character or the MC of an anime or cartoon, which one would it be and why? Maybe?
这个问题是想要问到康康选手，其实很多人都会把你想做是，不管是在游戏当中还是日常的生活当中，很多人都会觉得说把你作为是一个主人公来看待。如果是对于你来说，去不管是任何一部卡通啊或者动画片，就是说以你是一位主人公的话，你觉得会是哪一部动画或者是卡通？
我觉得其实跟我性格比较相仿的，应该就是排球少年的日向向阳吧。我也希望能够成为队伍里面的小太阳，去一直用我自己的努力跟我自己弥补自己的不足，然后去帮助我这个队伍，然后去。虽然说我打游戏比较激进，所以说就可能容易很快的白给，但是我觉得我还是需要去发挥我的长处，因为这个队伍需要我去这样做，对。然后我也希望能够继续把这些活力的一面、青春的一面去带给我的队伍，让我们队伍走得更远。虽然说会有很多曲折，但是我认为曲折是干不死我们的。
So the answer is that I would like to say the volleyball junior. I will be the main character because I want to be that. I want to be like the son, the little son for our team. You know, although I have those mistakes, sometimes I got their weakness, but I still want to help the whole team. I mean, sometimes I might be aggressive in the server. I just die in vain, but sometimes I just feel like the team need me to do that. And I also want to take this, to bring this energy, that young blood into our team, no matter there's obstacles, but those obstacles cannot like take us down.
A fearless leader. Love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. If the on-site media would like to start lining up, we'll begin asking your questions.
สื่อไทยถ้ามีคำถามต่อแถวได้เลยนะคะ
And in the meantime, let's go to Miguel from Sons of KS.
Hi guys, good day. Thank you for taking the question. Right now, I think this is the first time that an agent has been almost included on competitive game with the release of Tejo. And right now, with another agent around the corner, how do you think this affects the way that strategies play on the stage? Does this adds up to like give a competitive edge, or is this detrimental for the game as it is? These questions would be great if both teams can reply. Thank you.
Team Liquid, if you'd like to go first.
Yeah, touching on the Tejo, I think that's very hard to adapt, I would say, like this to the Tejo, especially with a lot of terms and overall if we comparing the previous year and this year if we're starting with the kickoff, the new agent release, and you don't really know is he going to be good or no, so you're kind of taking a risk to try to play the new agent to break the meta. And I think that's the harder part was for the most of the teams, and who managed to play with the agent, they did good. Who didn't play the agent or who didn't master that agent, they didn't show up the best. And now going to the new agent that is coming soon and going after the tournament into the stage 1, that also brings a bit of, especially for the teams who is in the Masters Bangkok, a bit of not even randomness, but you need to adapt very fast to what is going on right now in terms of the map pool is changing, the metas on the map pool is changing, maybe the meta on the maps that is played right now is changing. So there's a lot you need to adapt in the moment, and you need to be a bit lucky even sometimes, because you need to perform, you need to also rest a bit, because all of us are humans, we are not robots. So that's why it's a good thing, to be honest, of this year. It's a randomness. Most of the people is going to say in randomness, but that's where I find it funny and interesting of this year, how actually everyone is going to adapt into it. That's at least my perspective for this year.
这个问题，两位 ADG 的选手也可以来回答。就是在版本当中，新英雄太湖上线了，觉得在这个版本当中，在比赛里面会带来哪些影响？不管是如何去应对它，如何去调整，又觉得将它带入到阵容当中的话，会有怎样的优势啊，或者是会有怎样的影响？
I think it's definitely challenging to adapt to the new initiator and duelist that is gonna come out. But I think as I look at it, it's fun to adapt to all those new things. But as Nats mentioned, in my opinion, I think it brings a bit more randomness, a bit more of a RNG moments in Valorant, especially like strategic wise. And for teams that are in Bangkok, they won't have that much time for the preparation coming to the stage 1 as other teams. So we're gonna see how teams will prepare and how everyone will try to adapt. But as I mentioned earlier, it's gonna be fun.
我觉得这个新英雄对于防守方开局的布局会有些影响吧，因为他的技能说实话有点太快了，就有点强势。然后呢，可能清道具就是清防守方的道具变得很简单，然后你往前面怎么说就不太好守吧？怎么说？可能就是如果作为少尉的话，我比较讨厌。
Chichu said when you are a defense side, seems like this agent will have a big affection for your like how you put your key to your skill, because the Taiho hit skill is too fast. Seems like his hit can get this side so easily. And as a sentinel, I seems like I don't like this agent.
Thank you so much.
We'll take questions from the on-site media.
จาก APS Thailand นะครับอยากถามคังครับผมว่าในการตั้งแต่ EDG มาแข่งในมาสเตอร์หรือแชมเปี้ยนทุกๆครั้งก็จะเจอด่านหินอย่าง Paper X แต่ครั้งนี้ Paper X ไม่ได้มาคุณคิดว่าเส้นทางการคว้าแชมป์ของ EDG เนี่ยจะง่ายขึ้นหรือเปล่าครับ
This question is for Kang Kang. In the previous matches, EDG has been facing Paper X, and this time Paper X is not here. Do you think that it would be easier for you to win?
这个问题是想要问到康康选手。其实之前我们看到过很多次 EDG 与 PRX 的交手，但这一次可能 PRX 没有来到这儿。那觉得对于 EDG 来说，会不会是一次更加轻松的取得胜利呢？在这一次比赛当中。
我觉得面对每一支队伍其实都是一样的，我没有觉得哪支队伍比较难打，哪支队伍简单。当然 ，PRX 没有能来到这次曼谷大师赛，我觉得挺可惜的。但是他们是我们的兄弟，所以说我们要带着兄弟的那份信念一起走下去。对。
I mean, I think it's all the same when we face against every teams. There's no who is difficult to face against, who is easier to face. But I feel this time PRX didn't made it to come to Master Bangkok. This is a pity for both of our teams because we are brothers. You know, we'll take this brotherhood and go further.
ค่ะก็ข้างบอกว่าจริงๆแล้วก็น่าจะไม่มีอะไรเปลี่ยนแปลงมากนะคะเพราะทุกเกมก็เก่งกันอยู่แล้วไม่มีว่าจะง่ายกว่าหรือยากกว่าแต่สำหรับครั้งนี้ที่ PRX ไม่ได้มาเนี่ยรู้สึกว่าเป็นเขารู้สึกว่าเสียดายมากเพราะว่าEDG กับ PRX มันเป็นพี่น้องกันนะคะก็ถ้าเกิดว่าได้มาด้วยก็จะเป็นแบบสองพี่น้องดูโอแล้วก็อาจจะไปถึงเส้นชัยกันได้
thank you
Go ahead
ใช่ค่ะ
ครับผมเป็นคำจากออนไลน์สเตชันนะครับเป็นคำถามเดียวกับทีมที่ผ่านมาทั้งหมดนะครับว่าอยากรู้ว่าทั้งสองทีมมีเทคนิคทางจิตวิทยาในการแข่งขันมีผลมากน้อยแค่ไหนต่อฟอร์มการเล่นครับแล้วก็เทคนิคที่สำคัญกับการโฟกัสของเกมทั้งสองทีมมีวิธีแตกต่างกันอย่างไรครับ
This is a question for both teams. How do you prepare yourself mentally, and how do you think the mental preparation helps you? And what are some tips and tricks?
I mean, when it comes to mental preparation, I think the most important thing is sleep, because we are not robots, right? We need to sleep. I think like this is the most important thing for gamers, for professional players, is to have a good sleep schedule. When coming to tournaments with different time zones, it's hard to adjust, but it's not impossible. So you gotta focus more on that rather than like playing the game and just grinding 12 hours of ranked. Just basically get a good sleep, and from that, you're ready to go.
这个问题 EDG 的两位选手也可以回答，就是想问一下大家的心态上面是如何做准备的呢？以及你觉得这种准备会怎样帮助到你们？在做一些心态上准备的时候，有没有一些方法和小妙招呢？
我觉得我是会给自己在赛前一些心理建设的人，然后我只要把我赛前的心理建设全部做完，那我一定可以在这场比赛当中发挥的挺好。对，所以说，像我们这种没有安全感的人，就需要在比赛前做一些心理建设吧，我认为。
I mean, before the matchup, I always take care of my mentality. I mean, if I did that good this time, I will performance well in that matchup because for some people like insecure like me, we need those kind of routine for take care of our mentality.
ค่ะสำหรับทีม Liquid นะคะบอกว่าการนอนนะคะคือสิ่งที่สำคัญที่สุดค่ะเพราะว่าถ้าพักผ่อนไม่พอเนี่ยจะส่งผลต่อการเล่นนะคะแล้วก็สำหรับทริปนี้เนี่ยเขาก็ได้มีการปรับเวลานะคะก็คือนอนเยอะๆแล้วก็พยายามปรับเวลาให้ทันกับเวลาประเทศไทยนะคะส่วน EDG บอกว่าการทำสมาธิเป็นสิ่งที่สำคัญมากเพราะว่าสำหรับเขาเนี่ยเขาเป็นคนที่ขี้ประหม่าเพราะฉะนั้นต้องโฟกัสมากกว่าปกตินิดนึงค่ะใช่ไหมคะ
คำถามนี้ถามทีม Liquid ครับว่าเพื่อนร่วมทีมอย่างเคโกะได้มีบอกอะไรเกี่ยวกับประเทศไทยไว้บ้างไหมครับแล้วก็มีแผนว่าจะไปทำอะไรกันบ้างนอกจากที่มาแข่งที่ประเทศไทยครับ
ขออีกรอบได้ไหมคะ
ครับก็เพื่อนร่วมทีมเคโกะได้บอกอะไรเกี่ยวกับประเทศไทยกับเพื่อนร่วมทีมบ้างไหมครับแล้วก็มีแผนว่าจะไปทำอะไรกันบ้างหรือเปล่า
This is a question for Team Liquid that you have Keiko. Is he telling you anything about Thailand? Fun facts about Thailand, and do you guys have any plans together?
I mean, he's here right now, actually.
Yeah.
You want him to answer?
เขาอยู่ข้างหลังนะคะ
Overall, yeah, he's showing us everything. He's saying us what should we eat, what we shouldn't eat, where should we go, what should we watch, all of that. So he's taking care of us this time. That's very cool. We do have plans, but let's see how the tournament is gonna go because there is a lot of matches in a row matches. So we didn't have a day off yet. We didn't have time to explore. Only the first day they went to see something. And yeah, that was the only our opportunity, I would say. Let's see how the tournament will go.
He's taking good care of us, basically.
Yeah.
ค่ะก็ทางเกียวโกะเองก็บอกว่าอะไรที่ควรกินอะไรไม่ควรกินอะไรคนที่ลองชิมหรือว่าไม่ควรไปยุ่งนะคะแต่ว่า ทั้งหมดแล้วเนี่ยก็คือดูแลทีมเป็นอย่างดีนะคะตอนนี้ทางทีมยังไม่มีแผนที่จะไปเที่ยวที่ไหนเพราะอยากที่จะโฟกัสกับการแข่งขันก่อนนะคะแล้วก็เพิ่งมาได้แค่วันแรกเนาะแล้วก็ Partytex ก็แอดเพิ่มว่าเขาดูแลทีมเป็นอย่างดีจริงๆค่ะ
Thank you.
Hello guys, I'm Solera VALORANT.GG. My question will be to both teams, but I would like to ask first Team Liquid and Nuts. Добрый день.
Добрый.
Добро пожаловать в Bangkok, Team Liquid. So my question is, it's somewhat poetic that both of your teams are facing each other. There are obviously a lot of narratives between Team Liquid and EDG. But I would like to compare your kickoff run, like both teams did an impressive lower bracket run. And then there was some point, like at first you were not performing as well. And then something happened, match against Food probably. So I would like to ask both teams, what was that moment that changed it for you during kickoff and allowed you to qualify for the international event? Thank you.
Should I start or you'll translate first?
You can start and then we'll translate after.
Okay, so yeah, that was a good part from us, and I think that's mostly how you see how the difference between the teams. Some teams don't reply on that kind of challenges, on that kind of mistakes in the proper way. I think we got lucky and we had a lot of good direction in terms of, especially as you mentioned, after the footballist game, we took a right approach. Every one of us, not just some of us, every one of us as a team took a right approach, and we decided how we're gonna beat that lower bracket run. Everyone was very motivated. Everyone had a dream, especially Keiko. That was his dream. So that's why he was performing very well. So, but yeah, we find something after the foot game that helped us a lot. Let's see how we're going to be on the Masters Bangkok right now.
Thank you.
两位选手都可以回答这个问题啊。那可能在起点赛的时候，不管是 Team Liquid 还是 EDG，你们可能都先跌入了败者组，但是可能从这个节点之后，就会发现你们其实是打出了之后做出了很多的转变，打出了非常精彩的比赛。那想要知道是怎样的一个节点或者怎样的一个时刻，让你们做出了这种转变呢？
我觉得适当的泼冷水是好事。
Chicho said sometimes some obstacles, maybe like a really cold water like through to you. Sometimes it's a good thing for you to adjust yourself.
That's a great comparison. Thank you. Good luck to both teams.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to take a couple of questions from the remote media. Let's go to End Poem.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so this question is for Nats. I will go with ask you in Chinese first and then translate it to English. 这里是萌娘百科无畏学员编辑组。然后这个问题给到 Nats 选手。Nats 选手，你的位置呢也随着 Team Liquid 的阵容变动的时候，从自由人转变到了指挥位。那么在这个转变的过程中，有没有哪些不适应的地方？So Nats, your position changed from flex to in-game leader during the roster change. So was there anything you found difficult to adapt during this transition? Thank you.
I mean, a lot of not even difficult. I call it challenges, and the challenges that I like to face. Maybe that's something that I was missing for the past years. That's good. That's the challenges that I face is first of all how should we lead the team with me and the coach? How should I lead the boys in the game, not just in terms of IGLing to say how they're gonna do in some kind of strats, but overall the mental preparation, approach, preparation of everything overall. And that's the challenges that I like to face. And I'm not gonna say it's difficult, just a lot of different challenges, every single direction, in-game related, outside of the game related. I just enjoy it, and that's it.
Thank you.
We'll take a question next from Alejandro Sanchez. Would you like to unmute your mic? All right. Let's go then to Arnab. Yeah.
Hi guys, hi Nats, hi Petitech, Chichu and Kankang. First of all, congrats on qualifying. Excited to see you guys on the stage. My question is actually for both the teams, and whoever is open to it to answering, I would love to know their point of view. The first part of the question would be for Nats. I remember talking to you, and you were talking about how best of 5 series will be the first time you will be IGLing and you are excited about. So I want to know your experience, how it has been to best of 5 series back to back. And we were talking about your pleasure and pains of being an IGL. But now you will be facing against the world champions. They have the title to defend in Masters Madrid, Masters Bangkok as well. How do you look into that challenge? And same goes for the EDG guys. Being a new IGL, this Nats, but a veteran player, do you think that gives a sort of, I'll say, ease for your matchup against them? What are your thoughts on that? Thank you.
So about the first question about the best of fives, it felt very good. I mean, the first best of five, we played only 3 maps, and 3 maps went pretty fast. So, but if we're talking about the second best of five against the Vitality, the 5 maps that we played, it was a bit exhausting, to be honest. As a player, I wasn't feeling that before, but as an IGL, that actually was interesting for me because I need to think for the whole 5 maps. And as I was saying you before about not just IGL part, also thinking about how the boys feel, how I feel, and all of that stuff. That was a good experience, and I like that experience. And touching about the preparation for the EDG, the preparation will be the same as for the every team. This is international event. The only thing that everyone is going to face is the different playstyles, and especially the different agents. So the Tejo came to the meta, and not every region is using the new agent in the same way. That's why it will be interesting how the meta is gonna be in this tournament. Every team will need to be adapting. They will need to adapt some kind of to our playstyle. We'll need to adapt to their playstyle in some terms. So that will be interesting.
Thank you. We'll take a question from Alan.
Excuse me.
You wanted to answer from EDG?
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, my question for them was that given that Nats will be IGLing for the first time in an international event, and they have the experience and they're the defending champions of the game, how this matchup is for them? Is that an easy win, or how they look up for the upcoming matchup?
这个问题是想要问到 EDG 的。那现在这一次面对到 Team Liquid 的嘛，这一次 Nats 也是作为了队内的指挥位。然后这一次面对到他们会有怎么样的期待呢？尤其是在这种转变之下，看到他们其实在自己赛区起点赛也是完成的很好。
因为他们每一场比赛其实我都看了嘛，然后不管是直播还是录像，我都有看嘛。然后我觉得就是他们的风格转变了很多吧。然后我觉得就是他们现在很激进，然后也打得很细腻，所以说我觉得是个很强大的对手吧。然后主要就是感觉就是整体他们的风格现在会让我们需要去适当的减缓我们自己的节奏，而不让自己去陷入他们的节奏。我觉得这是我们需要运用的一些方法，去跟他们比拼吧。
I have to say, every match of Team Liquid, I have watched every match of them. Like no matter stream or what, I feel like their play style have changed a lot. On one hand, they are aggressive. They played aggressive, but in other hand, they're just did so well detailedly. I feel they are a really powerful opponent to face against. And also to face against with them, we have to slow down our pace, and we're gonna try our best.
Thank you, both the teams, and looking forward to your matchup, as I said before, and best of luck in the tournament.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to take 2 more questions. Alan, get ready. You're going to close us out at the end, but we'll take the question from the room first.
เชิญค่ะ
ถามคังครับ ถามเกี่ยวกับเรื่อง hate speech ที่ต้องเจอแล้วก็ความกดดันจากสิ่งรอบตัวว่ามีวิธีรับมือยังไง แล้วก็มีอะไรอยากฝากบอกกับแฟนๆชาวจีนที่เชียร์พวกเขาอยู่ครับ
ขอรีพีทคำถามแรกหน่อยได้ไหมคะ
ครับมีวิธีรับมือยังไงกับ hate speech ที่ต้องเจอแล้วก็ความกดดันจากสิ่งรอบข้างครับ
this question is for Kang Kang. How do you handle hate speech or negative comments? And if you have anything to say to the Thai fans.
这个问题想问到康康选手，其实有时候在面对到比较有批评性建议的一些评论的时候，你是如何去看待的呢？那以及有没有什么话是想要传递给来自泰国的粉丝的呢？
那个批评性的言论其实太多了，所以说我就还是始终贯彻一点，就是你爱我就继续爱，不爱你恨我就继续恨吧啊。然后想对泰国的粉丝说，谢谢你们一直以来支持，我们会更努力的。
So I have to say those toxic comments, there was too much. I have to say that just one thing I wanna claim is that if you love me, keep loving me. If you hate me, just hate me. I feel like to all the Thai fans, I want to say that thank you for your supporting, and we're gonna try our best and bring the best of us in this Master Bangkok.
ค่ะก็สำหรับคังก็คือเขาชิวไม่ค่อยสนใจเท่าไหร่ก็ใครอยากที่จะรักเขาก็รักเขาถ้าใครที่ไม่อยากจะรักเขาก็ไม่เป็นไรส่วนอยากจะฝากถึงแฟนๆคนไทยนะคะก็คือก็อยากให้มาดูแล้วก็ขอบคุณสำหรับทุกแรงเชียร์ค่ะ
Thank you. And the last question is going to come from Alan. Go ahead, Alan.
Okay, thank you. So this question goes to Partech. Hi, Partech.
Hello.
Hi, send some love from China. So I remember that from the loser final when you sweep 3-0 through Heretics and winning the slots into this event. I remember there is a scene in the stream where you when the game ends, when the whole match ends, and you seems like really relief lying back on your chair and similar. It seems like you have something like praying or a lot of thoughts in your head. Can you give us a little bit flashback? What are your thoughts back then? What are you thinking? What are your emotions back then? Thank you.
At the time that we beat Heretics 0, I mean, for me, it was kind of surreal at the moment because I really wanted to play against them and I really wanted to win. But for me personally, I knew that it's going to be a tough match, which it wasn't. But in my head, I was making scenarios that it's going to be either like a really hard game or they're going to smash us, you know? So that game really mattered for me because as everyone knows, I was playing with them for a lot of tournaments and for a lot of time. And we kind of bonded together really well. So I really wanted to prove to them that me being in Team Liquid, we still have a chance of beating them, which at the time I thought that they are the best team in the world, besides CDG, like second. So for me, it was a really important game. And the thing that I did that, like I looked up the sky, I mean, at the roof, it was a huge sign of relief because for me, it proved that Team Liquid is a team that can qualify to international events, and that is an indicator that we can become a best team in the world, in my opinion. So that was on one side of the relief, and the second relief was that I just beat Heretics 3-0 to qualify to Masters Bangkok, which I didn't think would be possible, but it was. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Team Liquid.
Thank you.
EDG, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. This will conclude the final pre-event press conference, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. For those of you joining us online and in the room, thank you so much for your questions.
Anyone in the chat, thank you for joining in. This was Arnab. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I usually do upload interview videos and stuff. I'll be traveling to Bangkok I guess tomorrow, day after tomorrow, something like this. I'll be uploading videos from there as well. If you guys have any content that you want to look forward to, just drop me a DM on my Twitter. I'll try to respond and try to make it happen if possible. And yeah, see you guys soon. Please make sure to subscribe. Once I post something, you guys will be getting notified or in your feed. So yeah, that's it from my side. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good day. Good night.
Record.
Thank you and bye bye.